travel time as 21 sets of traffic lights are removed. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it's a little bit of pain and disruption now for long-term gain.
Look, you can't make an omelette without breaking some eggs, and we're a government that's very conscious of the fact that during a project of this size and complexity, of course, there's going to be a degree of disruption, but we want to get things done. The non-stop South Road project has been talked about for decades.
The Prime Minister is open to considering the EU's push for a security pact with Australia, but says there's still not much detail. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen has raised the idea during talks with Anthony Albanese. The EU has signed similar deals with Japan and South Korea. Australian National University Centre for Europe visiting fellow Robert Potter says the unpredictability of Donald Trump's presidency means we may need to look elsewhere for support.
Because we can no longer be guaranteed consistency in DC, we need to build new lines of communication. Yes, that might annoy some of our American allies, but I think they're not going to be too annoyed to see other countries picking up some of the burden of carrying global security.
Telstra is being accused of misleading customers about its mobile network coverage. Vodafone has called on the ACCC to investigate its opposition, claiming it has overstated the reach of its network by as much as 40%. But in a statement, Telstra says any suggestion it's misled the public about the size of its network is untrue. The mushroom murder trial in Victoria is hearing evidence from an expert witness who specialises in mobile phone network data. More from Penelope Lersch.
Dr Matthew Sorrell, an expert in phone data, has taken the jury through a lesson in how phones connect to cell towers and where those towers are based around the Gippsland area. He told the court he was asked to analyse 4.5 years' worth of data for a number that related to Erin Patterson's mobile phone and whether it had visited the areas of Outram and Lock, as well as its movements on the 31st of July 2023, 2 days after the fatal lunch. Erin Patterson has pleaded not guilty to all charges.
Urologists say Joe Biden's prostate cancer diagnosis is a good reminder for men to get checked on a regular basis. The former president has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of the condition, which has spread to his bones. Damien Bolton from the Urological Society says it's not uncommon for prostate cancer to go unnoticed.
Often, prostate cancer can progress significantly before symptoms become apparent, and that's why there's value in having PSA testing done on a yearly basis for healthy men from about the age of 50.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the new 2025 AFL footy cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Port's Jason Horne-Francis is expected to spend a month on the sidelines with a hamstring injury. Lockie Jones could be out for up to 8 weeks, while Josh Sin is unlikely to head west this weekend as he recovers from bruising to his hip. The Crows have a home game this weekend. They play West Coast on Sunday. Scotty Scheffler has claimed his third major title, winning the PGA Championship. Aussie Andrew Bogut has been inducted into the FIVEAA Hall of Fame during a ceremony in Bahrain. And a win for the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA playoffs sees them advance to the finals and the Denver Nuggets eliminated. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
G'day there, at Salisbury Heights. Got a crash to look out for on the drive home, Main North Road near the Groveway. Really big delays through there at the moment. Also delays with a breakdown getting cleaned up at the moment at Darlington. It's on the Southern Expressway, just near the Marion Road overpass with delays outbound. And another breakdown, this one's at Colonel Light Garden, Springbank Road to the Goodwood Road intersection. Cameras today, Oak Ridge Road, Aberfoyle Park and West Street at Ascot Park. Make tough jobs more effortless in the GWM Cannon Alpha plug-in hybrid. From $60,490 drive away, plus free charger for ABN holders. Terms and conditions apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Sunny this afternoon, sunny tomorrow, 18. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 19. And 19 again on Thursday. Right now, it's 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Beth Excel. Tonight, the latest predictions on tomorrow's Reserve Bank rates decision. Vodafone accuses Telstra of 15 years of misleading customers about its coverage. The popular vitamin that could be poisoning you. A new scam that hijacks your phone. Plus, Rory Sloane's take on the Crows and Powers' tough weekend. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 Now.
Stream streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowey.
I am flabbergasted.
And Timmy G.
Absolute sports festival.
5 after 4 on this Monday, where the cold has arrived here in Adelaide. The rains over the weekend were great to see. But when it comes to our footy, not a lot to be joyous about here in South Australia, if we're fair. It's our Monday footy review, and there's a lot to cover off. Rowey, Timmy G, good afternoon.
Yeah, thanks, Sam. Depending on who you follow, it could be a weekend to forget. Maybe if you're a Collingwood or Geelong fan, you'd be pretty happy. But South Australia went down to WA. Yep, I was there, and copping the heat for that one. Crows went down narrowly by 10 points. Port Adelaide had a second half smashing after being 9 points down, lost by 76. Good news for FA Cup fans. Crystal Palace winning their first piece of major silverware, so that's awesome. We'll have a chat later on to Tommy Orr about that one, but give us your weekend review, 8223 0000. Welcome, Rowey. How was your weekend?
Well, I woke up this morning with a runny nose. Must have been cold.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know what I'm like? I'm a sickly little individual when it gets cold.
I think it got down to 4.
Oh, God, it was cold. Well,
fresh.
winter's here. We need it. We need some rain. Well, I went fishing. I can share with you the algae bloom is at Rogues Point, which is just before Ardrossan.
Right.
We need a southerly for the next 4 days. All the farmers were dry seeding.
Yeah.
They need some rain. God, we need some rain.
Yeah. And
I got quota.
Oh, well done. Well, that's the main thing. You got quota.
We'll share that with Nick.
Nice.
But I had a great weekend.
Excellent. Well done. Congratulations.
See, footy doesn't rule my life.
No, fair enough too, yeah. No, mine absolutely stank. Well, we'll get to yours first because you played first. You went down by 10 points, but your coach, he's sick of it.
As we do on Mondays after a game where we don't get the outcome we're after and we kick ourselves. I think we're sick of that. So, we know we're a good side. We want to be a great side like they are. So we've got to get ourselves to that level if we want to be consistent.
Yeah. How did you describe it? How did you describe it?
I wasn't shattered they lost. It was Collingwood at the MCG. In my eyes, we went toe-to-toe with, I would think, a genuine premiership contender. Probably 4 or 5 clubs, they'd be in that mix. Collingwood, do you agree? And it's the MCG. It did rain. Rain doesn't suit the Crows. They didn't take their chances. To only lose by 10 points to be in it. I'm looking forward to what Jordan Dawson said. I can remember 3 set shots directly in front that they missed. Rankin missed 2. It missed the set.
Really unusual.
Out on the full. So there's a lot of reasons, if, buts, and as Bix used to call it, candy nuts. There's all of that. But I'm buoyed and confident after 10 rounds. Their best, if they can sustain it, will be good enough to make the 8. And that as a fan is all I'm worried about. That is the next step.
That's the next step.
Can they take it? We'll wait and see. But they're good enough. And that they played good enough to win it, but they didn't.
Yeah. Look, Nixie himself thought there was a lot of moments that cost him.
Had a couple of costly moments in the game that when you look back on it, in a game that's really hard to score in because of conditions, those costly errors become even more costly. 50-metre penalties just outside to give them a goal, or a mark on the goal line right on the siren. Just small things that we know we've got to get right if we want to beat the best side in the comp.
Well, that one was three-quarter time. Elliott marked it on the goal line. I think it was the one where they paid Millerer for a throw. He clearly handballed it. So the Quiff again interjected himself into the game, paid a free kick, the long bomb went in, he marked it, goal, three-quarter time, away it goes. I mean, another umpire decision. I don't want to dwell on it. The better team won, but it happens every week. He didn't throw it. He handballed it. And he was behind him. So why would an umpire that's behind the player just assume he threw it? That's called guessing. And I think rule number 101 of umpiring, don't guess.
No.
Would you thought that if you're an umpire coach, would you said, hey, whatever you do, don't guess.
No.
Just get it wrong.
If you don't see it, you don't see it.
You don't see it, you don't see it.
Funnily enough, throwing is an issue in AFL, but
Millerer handballed it.
So rarely do they pick it up.
But it cost a goal.
Yeah.
It cost another goal.
There you go. Crows fans, give us your feedback on that game on the weekend against Collingwood at the G. Port Adelaide, probably the story of this town anyway at the moment. Their third heavy loss of 12 goals or more. Things just aren't going well. Here's a bit of a reflection on those losses.
McInnes, that would have been deliberate for all money. But the MCG massacre is over. 91 points the margin.
There it goes. A very bad afternoon for Port Adelaide. They've won their 2 previous encounters in Ballarat. That record has been broken as the Doggies pulverise the power here in Ballarat.
Jeremy Cameron will kick 7. Bang! Right on the siren, he finishes. To end Port Adelaide's misery, it just kept going. They're going to be 76-point winners. An outstanding performance.
There's some significant differences in what the performance were and looked like. Clearly there were some issues today with personnel and fatigue and all those things against a team who got rolling after half-time, because at half-time we probably could have been easily in front, bar a nice freakish goal from Jeremy Cameron. And then the second half, I think we chased our tail a little bit and we took the game on a little bit, but made some fundamental skill errors that they were able to turn over and turn into score against, which then got away from us big time, and they finished us off.
They've had 4 wins, 6 losses, but those 3 in particular are just massive results where you sort of go, my issue at the moment is, what is it that we're supposed to be doing? We went back to the handball happy mode on the weekend, and you could hear the crowd going, oh, no, not this again. You could just hear that creeping in. So here's Ken on the 3 losses in a row that they've just had. But I got a little question afterwards.
No, I think they're reasonable questions, and they're somewhat different answers to them. I mean, today was a bit more of a physical component to it than the game against the Bulldogs, which they just outplayed us in every facet of the game. A bit similar to Geelong tonight, but we had some other reasons tonight. So, and then last week, accuracy cost us. Our inefficiency cost us. So whether it's injuries tonight, inefficiency, and then lack of polish through those bad losses is really exposed.
So it feels like each and every loss has different reasons for them. And that, for me, becomes a really hard manage. It seems like we actually don't know how we're meant to play, because I reckon the confusion you can see come in and out of games. And then when we are losing, we don't have the ability to tighten up and be able to stop the bleeding. The score on turnover, they kicked 14 of the last 16 goals. And that was similar to the Collingwood and the Western Bulldogs efforts, where you're just getting absolutely flogged. I don't know if you saw any of it, Stephen.
Oh, no, I watched it. Don't worry about that. I think there's a elephant in the room. And we can talk all we want about how they lost. We're leading to this succession plan.
Chris Scott touched on it. He said, they're in transition. It's not a good way to be described.
I don't know what the analogy is, but you can't have a wife and a girlfriend because there's confusion. And ultimately, you've got to pick one. Do you want the new one, the new girlfriend, or are you happy with the old one? Now, they've made their call on a succession plan. And I think subliminary, is that a word?
Subliminally?
Yeah. That's the one I'm looking for. Even if it's self-conscious, there would be players that are thinking, who's my daddy? Especially the young ones. The older ones, it's very easy for Jason Horne-Francis to say, no, I'm supporting Ken. But are you? I'm not picking him out. I'm just saying to you, there is confusion. There's clearly confusion in the messaging. There's confusion how they're playing. And I think it's going to... I was with Stacey Lee. She said there's a hashtag, go and start the car.
Right. Yeah.
And your fans aren't happy, Timmy.
Well, I said this after the game.
There's a bye round 12.
We had callers straight off the game, as you always do, and they were saying, exactly this. How long do we have to wait? I feel like the club made a decision but didn't actually follow it through. Yeah. And unfortunately, it's put both of them in a really
100%. And the board's done that because they weren't strong enough at the start one way or the other. Or say behind the scenes, Josh, the job's yours. But we're not going to say anything because this will be confusing for the media, for fans and for everybody. But they went out half pregnant, so to speak. This is what I'd do, and I'm going to ask you, Timmy, you can have a bit of a thought to it. It's going to be a tough year from here. Horne-Francis, couple of weeks?
At least 4.
You got a lot of injuries. How many injuries?
Yeah.
CLK legal, up to 12?
We just added another 3.
You just added another 3. So they're 15th. You haven't won a last quarter. Now, last quarters are one of 2 things. It's wear and tear, fatigue, you're not fit enough. There's injuries, components to all that, but you've lost 10. You haven't even won 1. I reckon the last quarter, and you'll know this, being a Port man, that's your want quarter.
You want, you will.
That's your want, you will quarter. Got nothing to do with injuries. I've seen many a team win with no one on the bench. It's a want and the will quarter. Your want and will quarter, you're 0 and 10. Now, that adds up. That adds up to me. So this is what I do. It's going to be a tough year. I want Ken to see it through. And it's for only one reason. He can take all the blame, all the heat. He loves doing that. And whatever happens, happens. Hopefully they make the 8. They might not. Don't think they will. They're 15th. Long way back from there. I want, selfishly, for Josh Carr and for Josh Carr to have that, inverted commas, honeymoon period, which there really isn't one, that he can start 26 with some clean air. I'd hate him to go into 26 2-8 or 2-7 and a couple of 100-point floggings. That's not going to do him any favours. And you owe it to him to give him a favour. And the favour is clean air in 2026. The Josh we know might be, no, give it to me. I might go 8-2. Correct. I might make the finals and win a final.
Yeah.
So it's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think that it's been made very awkward right here and now.
But it shouldn't be up to Ken or Josh. This is the club.
The club, correct. And you've got to do what is the right thing for the football club.
So what would you do? Because you always make the right call for the footy club.
Yes, I always do. I think that I would put Josh in the driver's seat and say, okay, it's time. Because if, like you were saying, the bye? If you continue on, I just don't think it gets any better from here.
It's not going to.
So I think that the fresh start needs to start.
Okay.
Now.
So you got Fremantle this week, which is an away game. Correct. They're in ripping form. You're going to have Jason Horne-Francis out there, all that, blah, 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 blah. Then it's the bye.
Yeah, you just don't.
That's a big weekend for Koshy and his board, isn't it?
I sort of, we spoke to Craig Burton last week after they let Jacob Surgeon go, and he said we want to try and get the most out of those next 12 games.
And still make the finals.
And Porter got another 13 games to go. So it's a decision that Koshy and his board will have to have a crack at, and that's probably asking the question, do you hold or do you move on the succession plan? So I'd say with Koshy and his board's history, I'd say they hold.
Yeah.
So give us a call. Tell us what you'd do.
8223 0000. It's a big story in regards to the prospects of Port Adelaide Football Club's future at the moment in 2025. It's our Monday footy review. Your calls are now 8223 0000. Jordan Dawson, the Crows captain, will join us very shortly. We'll speak about the FA Cup final as well with Optus Sports' Tommy Orr, but we'll take your calls for a $50 Powers voucher straight after the break, 17 minutes after 4.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
You wake up with a runny nose. Maybe it's just a cold, but that scratchy throat? This might be serious. Test for COVID, flu A, flu B, RSV and adenovirus all at once with the FanTest 5-in-1 antigen test. The FanTest 5-in-1 delivers accurate self-testing in any environment using a straightforward nasal swab, resulting in a fast and reliable diagnosis. Test for all 5 at once with FanTest. Available now at all leading chemists.
Whether you're coming into the city for footy, friends or family, or you're headed out into SA, you can let Stateliner do the driving for you. They have a fleet of modern, comfortable buses that connects Adelaide to the Eyre Peninsula, the Mid-North, Riverland and South East, with many towns in between. Stateliner buses are equipped with toilets, air conditioning, they're wheelchair accessible, and you can even charge your phone. With 50% off for pensioners, seniors, children and SA full-time students, let Stateliner do the driving for you. Book today.
All righty, it's great to have mates to help you out, and especially if they've got a trailer, but what if they don't have it available? Well, that's when you got to get to Matty at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide.
He rang me today.
Good.
The yard's full.
Well, he's a Bombers fan, isn't he?
And he had tears, little crocodile tears. Matty runs the depot. That's who he is, at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. He's always ready to help. Now, whether you're moving house, picking up something from what extent, doesn't matter, planning a road trip, going up the Barossa or interstate, Avis Truck Rental Adelaide has you covered. He has a 5AA special mates rate.
Fixed price.
It is, and it's fixed. No surprises.
Wink, wink.
Give us one of them again.
Oh, yeah.
You one of them.
Now, here's an idea. Maybe get a 12-seater Avis minibus. You can drive around on a car licence. How good's that? You could go to the footy, maybe over in Melbourne. You could do a Barossa trip or McLaren Vale, the Adelaide Hills. Get it all and, do your own winery tour.
Correct. So trust your cobber. His name's Manny. It's at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, South Australian owned. It's a blue chipper. And he's always keen to help. God, he puts in the hours. So jump online at avis.com.au or give him a call now. Pick up the phone. Do not mention the Bombers. 8241 5200.
Hello, Frank Walker from National Tiles. National Tiles' famous once-a-year May Mayhem is the biggest and best ever. Spend $1,000 and we'll only charge you $750, or spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. That's right, spend $2,000 and we'll only charge you $1,450. Don't miss the biggest and best National Tiles May Mayhem event of all time. So rush into National Tiles now and save. Conditions apply.
Big news. The 2024 plate clearance sale is on at Austrac Campers. Save up to $11,000 on hybrid campers, plus get a bonus 3.3 kVA generator and 200-watt solar panel with every purchase.
Austrac Campers.
Limited stock. Don't miss out.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Wayville Hyundai before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
21 minutes after 4, it's our Monday footy review. Port fans, would you move or hold on the succession plan? And Adelaide fans, did you walk away from the Collingwood game on the weekend upset or not? 8223 0000 is the number. Let's check your traffic first. For Rossdale Homes, SA's most trusted, custom design, fixed pricing and total peace of mind, because trust is a must.
At Salisbury, hard to crash. Main North Road to the Grove Way. Kernlight Gardens, a breakdown. Springbank Road at the Gilbert Road intersection. Elkhart for car which lost a wheel at Para Hills West. It's on Bridge Road near the Grove Way, also causing really big delays at the moment. Darlington, a breakdown getting clean up on the Southern Expressway to the Marion Road overpass and the Canberra Winderbanks Road at Aberfoyle Park. Panadol helps relieve everyday pain. Not the pain of missing yet another light, but for the headache it gives you. Panadol's got you covered. Always read the label and follow the directions for use. Incorrect use could be harmful. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Let's go to Lights View. G'day, Jesse.
How you going, guys?
Hey,
guys, this situation at Port Adelaide could have been prevented. There's two people here that I blame for this, and that's Koshy and Chris Davies. At the end of the day, you know, this transition between coaches has failed. Okay, what happens, guys, when you actually leave a job and you resign and you got 4 weeks to go? What actually happens? You switch off. You go through the paces, right? And, you know, the list situation that we are in, we don't have depth. We don't have any big-bodied players. We don't have anyone that's really big, like a Cameron or, you know, some of the Crows boys, this, that, the other. But, you know, the bottom line is this. The list management is Chris Davies, okay? The coaching situation, I blame Koshy, Chris Davies, and the board for this, because they should have pulled the trigger, right, when they did the right thing by the football club. Stop treating it like a business. Treat it like a football club. Everyone's got KPIs, guys.
Thanks, Jesse. Let's go to Port Adelaide. G'day, Bill.
Oh, look, boys, I have to agree with that last caller, that in the sense that the list needs to be changed over, and I think some people have gone too long, i.e. Travis Boat. He's got a year too long, unfortunately, and his body's letting him down. And I think when you look at the who's to come in, there's no one coming up that's going to come in, apart from a Will Lorenz. You've got $1 million blokes been paid $500,000 each in the two ruckmen. You just got to pay out Soldo and get rid of him and just concentrate on Sweet and the other bloke. Listen, Kenny, they're the future, but and there needs to be probably about 8 blokes delisted and tapped on the shoulder, never to return. Thank you.
Cheers, Bill. Let's go to Paradise. G'day, Roger.
G'day, mate. Tim and Rowey. I do recall a few weeks ago when Port Adelaide lost to, I think the...
Bulldogs?
Yes. David Koch came on and said that better not happen again. And I'm just wondering what would be going through his mind right now.
Yeah, right. We'll go and look that one up, Sam. I reckon that sounds like it was on breakfast. Rog, thanks for that,
I couldn't
mate.
imagine him say that. That paints him into a corner. Where'd he say it?
Brecky.
He said on the breakfast show.
All right, well, let's track that up. Thanks, Rog, because they're fighting words if he said that. He's got nowhere to go now.
But not happen again.
Hashtag start the car. Hello, Jeff.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Hey, Jeff.
Look, I know it's an old chestnut and everyone's sick of it, but as Crows supporters, we think the world's against us with the umpiring. And I know all teams go through it, but the standard of umpiring the AFL, I think, it varies. The really good umpires are good umpires. You hardly even notice them. In the old days, the sign of a good umpire was when you didn't even notice.
True.
These days, they sort of got numbers on their backs and, they've got personalities and razor ray and so on. But the standard is not improving. It's deteriorating. I watch Adelaide Footy League games, Div 1, Div 2, etc., and the standard is often better at that level. They don't get it. They don't pay ticky touchwood rules, as we used to call it, and it's simpler. You've got the out of bounds rule, the last touch, which makes it simpler, and that's one thing. The second thing, just quickly for brevity, is the commentators sit there. There was a decision on Saturday, Crows against Collingwood. It was a deliberate out of bounds that Dan Curtin kicked his left foot. It bounced about, say, 8-10 metres inside the boundary, took a left turn, and it was called deliberate out of bounds. I mean, it was a bloody, excuse my French, it was an excellent kick. What do you guys think? The commentators didn't say a thing. It was like they're censored, I think, from saying anything negative. So
I reckon the TV gets censored with anything negative toward the game because they're an AFL broadcast. I reckon they get... Well, who was it? David King the other day. I saw him.
Let it slip, didn't he?
Yeah, he basically said, I can't comment about that. I've been censored.
Yeah. Well, he basically indicated exactly that. But, Jeff, you're lucky I do speak French.
Yeah,
so I
well done.
that.
Hey, keep the calls coming in about the succession plan. We got that $50 PALS voucher. What would you do? Can I do a Caro? Can I
hello.
Channel Caro?
Yeah.
My information is this. Is that what she says? I'm led to believe.
I'm led to believe.
I don't like that one.
No.
Mine's more, my information is this.
Yes.
Because led to believe is...
it leaves it open as if it didn't happen.
I don't want this to be open-ended.
This happened.
My information, this happened, is this. Geelong were in town, yeah?
Correct.
On the weekend. Their coach is Chris Scott, yeah?
Correct.
Do I sound like that bloke from Port Adelaide doing that? Yeah, he does that. Yeah. And then you've got to affirm it. Anyway, he was wearing cat's attire. Now, cat's attire is, you got a polo and you got Geelong on it.
Club polo.
And you got maybe, some... So there's no shade of grey.
I think he went to Ignition for Men, got his chinos.
This is it. There's no shade of grey. Chris Scott.
Right.
There's
Chris
no
Scott,
shade of grey
of the Cats.
That it was Chris Scott.
Correct.
And he wasn't hiding his identity.
Not
now,
at all.
if I was going into, let's just say, Hyde Park and looking at a house at around $5 million, and I was all but opening every drawer, really having a good hard goosey gander, he had everything out bar the measuring tape for the fridge. You know what I mean? It was that sort of, and this is from more than one source, that were actually at the open in Hyde Park. He even had an agent with him that was basically buzzing around with him. Now, would 1 and 1 equal 2? Why would he be looking at a house? Now, it was in the range, in the vicinity, and I've Googled the house.
This isn't your classic, they bought a house in Henley Beach.
No,
rumor.
it's not.
It's not. This is witnessed.
Witnessed. My information is...
Solid.
A solid witness, Timmy. Was it you? Because you've been more than solid with... Anyway.
That's at the Henley Grange
now,
RSL.
here's a couple of things. He's married to an Adelaide girl.
Right.
Correct? He did win a flag with my old coach, Neil Baum.
Ooh.
This is where I'm drawing a long bow. Now, Neil Baum is now where?
He's at the Adelaide Crows.
My only question is this. Would the Crows be the club that would have the audacity and the cunningness and the...
To poach him.
Correct. That's all I'm saying.
All right.
Why would he be looking at a house of that magnitude?
Well, keep your ears right in here at 5AA.
My information was well and truly this. So there you go. Anyway, I don't want to, draw any long bows there, but if anybody was at that Hyde Park residence and can back that story up.
It's not rumour. It's just Why?
That's it. 8223 is the sport line number.
Could be quite groundbreaking. It's the 4:30 headlines time. More for your calls next. 8223 0000.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
From Simon, the announcement that aerial shark patrols are being extended sounds good, but it does raise some questions.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Surely with today's technology, we can do better than relying on a fixed-wing plane that only flies over a location for a brief moment as it patrols all of our waters.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
I've got to say, as somebody who lives near the coast, I think that a lot. You see it go past and you go, well, that's good.
5AA breakfast.
And then it goes past and you think, I'm not going to see it again for a while.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. Stolen credit cards, cannabis, meth and equipment have been seized from a property at Mitchell Park. Telstra has hit back at claims it's inflating its mobile network coverage. Barack Obama has sent Joe Biden his best wishes following the former president's diagnosis with prostate cancer. And in sport, Port Adelaide insists the club will not be fast-tracking its coach's succession plan despite another big loss on the weekend. Now the 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon, got two issues in Para Hills West to look out for. A car has lost its tyre on Bridge Road near Maxwell Road and a crash on Maxwell Road near the wetlands. Big delays through here. Prospect another crash, Churchill Road near Palmer Avenue, and Darlington a breakdown getting cleared away on the Southern Expressway near the Marion Road overpass. Cameras Perry Bar Road, Hallett Cove and West Street at Ascot Park. Get what you really want with Ford's drive-away deals like the Ranger Wild Track model year 25.25 from 70k drive-away. Recommended price at participating dealers. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, clear tonight down to 6, sunny tomorrow 18. Right now it's 15 degrees. We'll have more news at 5 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate. What it is, how it works and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
Hey, it's Lauren here from Adelaide, and if you're like me and you love a good bargain from your local chemist, check out Star Discount Chemist. They're all about great value and helping your family stay healthy. Go in store or online for click and collect and delivery. Star Discount Chemist. How can we help?
Now, Barossa Volkswagen, the open road is calling, and this is open. No tight turns around traffic cones, no siree, no lights, no awkward loops past office blocks, none of that.
That expressway from the city to
Northern
the Barossa,
Expressway.
not even 40 minutes.
Oh, straight down.
So why would you not try to get out there when you can and book a test drive with Barossa Volkswagen?
Correct.
Is that how you would say it?
No.
Not at all. You can do a test drive. Go through the vineyards, past gum trees, golden fields. Open it up.
Yeah.
Drop the hammer, so to speak.
Get the music up.
Woody won't mind. Woo. Drop the hammer. Windows down. Suck in a bit of fresh Barossa air.
Within the speed limit, of course. Yes.
Well, exactly right. All those things. Woody is very safety conscious. But do that. And don't just take a little 20-minute one, which is what they do here. Or they might even jump in the car with you.
No.
In the city, they
do that. But an afternoon sometimes isn't enough, or a 5-minute little trundle around the block. No. You know what they'll do? They'll give you the keys and say, hey, have a sleepover. Have a sleepover. Come back tomorrow morning. We'll see you then and have a chat.
Yeah.
Barossa Volkswagen. Unbelievable.
And you know what? Don't even bother filling up the tank.
Oh, okay. We'll take care of it?
Yeah.
Oh, right. I'm not sure what he knows about that.
No,
but
well,
right.
he's going to now. Test drive the new Volkswagen Amarok. Now, this is a car you need to test drive, and you need to do it at Barossa Volkswagen. Not the city, you've got to get out to Barossa Volkswagen. And look, take your time. Park it in the driveway. Show it off to the neighbours. I think it tows close to 4 tonne. It is an unbelievable car. I love it. And it's an experience, and only an experience you can get from country folk like the big Woodmeister. Barossa Volkswagen, city service, country feels.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. We're helping life flow.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 25 minutes to 5. It's our Monday footy review, and we're getting your thoughts from the weekend for Port Adelaide and the Crows particularly. Would you move or hold on the succession plan, Port fans? And there was a little rumour, well, it's actually not a rumour, it was your information is, Rowey, very strong information, that Chris Scott's been looking at homes in South Australia.
Yeah, and Steve Panner comes straight on the Unique Home Style Food text. Hey, Rowey, has one single source of yours come to fruition?
I can't answer that.
Well, I think there's been quite a few.
Okay.
I reckon Barmy's was pretty solid, wasn't it? Just in the last
5-year delay. You got there in the end, mate.
Timmy, he did get there. Josh Dacos got 10. These are the coaches' awards.
Yep.
Jeremy House, 7. I thought he was great. Jordan Dawson, we'll be speaking to him at 5:30. He got 6. Fogg with 4 got 5. Ned Long got the 2. I said all game, Josh Dacos stood Rochelle. Rochelle's defensive action needed to be stronger. We called it in the whole game. Okay. He just ran around like an unregistered you-know-what.
Yep.
They bark.
He does that a lot, doesn't he?
Jordan Dawson goes to 4th in the overall voting. He's got 44 votes. The top is Cherry with 48. The Port Adelaide Cats game, it was all Cats. Bailey Smith got 9, Cameron 8, and then it's O'Connor 4, Dempsey 4, Blitzarves 4, Myers 1. So, yeah.
Just on that before
Dempsey
we go to the callers.
Very good.
Who was on Jeremy Cameron in the first half?
Lockie Jones did an outstanding job. He was actually goalless and not looking like it. And then Jones did his hammy. He got his first goal after he couldn't get there because he'd done his hammy. And then he kicked another 6 afterwards. So, yeah, it wasn't
He did do a
great.
good job. You're going to miss him.
Yes, let's go to Old Noarlunga. G'day, Brian.
Hey, how you going, boys?
All right, buddy.
If Port don't go real well for the rest of the season, do they have a complete coaching clean-out? Like Josh Carr is part of that coaching clinic coaching at the moment. But he's not performing. Ken's not performing, so do they just get rid of them all?
Yeah, I think it comes down to contracts too, Brian. I think with all assistants, it's whether you're in contract or not. And probably Nathan Bassett was a bit of a victim of that one when they came out and he didn't have a contract. So,
well, Brian, you're not going to sack Ken and a bloke you've given the succession plan to before he even gets to put some chalk marks on the ball, and he's got a 3-year deal.
They've made that call.
They've made the call.
No doubt about that. Let's go to Goodwood. G'day, Mark.
Good day. How are you?
Mark.
Hey, Stephen, I know you're an expert on sport and acknowledged around the state as that. I didn't actually know you were a comedian, though. Your comments on Chris Scott and how shopping in Unley excited me so much that I thought if I was still a member for Unley, I'd get the address and go and door knock him. But to turn round and say, I don't want to draw a long bow, reminds me of the doctor who looks you in the eye and says, you're about to die of cancer, but I don't want to worry you.
Yeah, that did sound very comedic. Is that a word?
Comedic, yeah.
Comedic. Yeah, when in its written term and blatantly, you know where I'm going with it, Mark. There's no question about that. But you can't tell me there wouldn't be another 17 clubs that if Chris Scott made himself available, they wouldn't entertain it. I think he's clearly top 3 coaches in this comp.
14 years there, 3 flags.
Well, look at his record.
Yeah.
Look at his record.
It's pretty good.
And hang on, was that Mark?
Yep.
Was that Mark?
Yep.
Mark, it was my information is. That's what Caro doesn't gets away with it, so what's wrong with that?
No, I'm not saying anything's wrong with it. I'm just saying that to give that bit of real gem of information, and then turn around and say, I don't want to draw a long bow. I don't know what the hell you were drawing if it wasn't a long bow.
That's exactly right.
Well played,
Good
Mark.
call. $50 powers voucher? He caught me out, I reckon.
Well played.
Well done, Mark.
Called
well
out.
played. He's in good
Okay.
work. They're neighbours, aren't they? Isn't Hyde Park out that lofty area?
Yeah, it's around the corner, right next door.
What's that road? Victoria Road?
Oh, yeah, Victoria.
Have you ever driven
Street,
that?
Is it? Yeah.
You feel like you're in Sussex
I
or
used to
something.
work near there and go down there and think, what is going on here?
Yeah, it's another world.
Not quite my leafy suburb I grew up in. Let's go to West Croydon. G'day, John.
John.
Hey, fellas, how you going?
Good, buddy.
Rowey, that would be so out of character for the Crows to do anything like that. And if they did, I'll walk around my suburb in just my socks. That's just not going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm with you, and that's why I asked the question. I don't think the Crows are that club, John, sadly.
No, they're too... my take on the Crows is that they're too worried about optics rather than worried about what's best for this club. And they've doubled down on the current coach. And my view, he's probably been there 2 years too long. We've seen again the same stuff that played out on Saturday against Collingwood, who he hasn't been able to beat in 10 attempts, and similar stuff has happened. I don't know why this club is so worried about optics rather than worried about what is best for the club, because I'd move the current coach on, and there are three guys that I would move on, and I wouldn't even think about it for a second. The three current guys not coaching, and I'd pick any one of them over what we've got at the moment, because the Crows have backed a horse that's probably $1 trillion to 1 to win a race. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, strong words, John. I think I heard our chairman, with the appointments they made on the back of Neil Baum and Murray Davis, it's a footy-first, footy-focused board now, which is great to hear. I would have thought that would be always the case. And I keep missing James Gallagher. He's been a very good addition to that board. Again, they've only been there a little while, but if it's footy first, John, I'm with you. You make footy first decisions.
Thanks, John. Let's go to another John at Rose Park.
Hi, boys. How are you?
Hey, John.
Tim, I've just got a question about the selection for the SANFL state game.
Yep.
Was Kobe Ryan from West Adelaide available for selection?
Yeah, he was, mate. He missed out.
Okay. Well, I just was a bit astounded about that, because I thought his form has been pretty good. In fact, I would say it would be sort of equal to last year's form. And last year, with 27 votes, he finished third in the McGarry medal and didn't make a 26-man squad. So to say I was a bit disappointed as a Westie supporter would be an understatement. I mean, how do you feel about the selection now, and do you think he could have been a player that you would have needed on the day?
Yeah. Oh, I love him, John, as a player. I really do. I'm a massive fan of his. I think he's a real inside mid, and I think the selection sort of said we had too many of those, and he was the victim of that. But, John, he's going to play a lot of state footy, and you're dead right. He certainly catches the umpire's eye as well. I'd love to get a few mates around. They've got a few injuries, Westies, but, gee, he's a ball getter.
God, he's a shining light in that West Adelaide outfit, isn't he?
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan, John.
And works really hard. John, thanks for your call, mate. Keep the calls coming in. 822 300 00. Where's this succession plan at? Where's it at?
Have your say. We'll speak to Jordan Dawson soon as well, but let's check your roads first.
Two issues at Para Hills West. Car has lost its tyre on Bridge Road near Maxwell Road, causing big delays, and a crash at Maxwell Road near the wetlands. Crash at Prospect getting cleared up, Churchill Road near Palmer Avenue, and a breakdown also getting cleared up to Darlington. It's on the Southern Expressway near the Marion Road overpass. Cameras this afternoon, Education Road, Happy Valley, and Hillier Road at Ranella. The biggest Redder sale is on now at Flight Centre. Save up to 60% on the second guest with Royal Caribbean. Hurry, ends May 31. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Like, love, loathe.
I loathe you.
Tell us what you liked, loved or loathed from the weekend of sport. Call him now. 8223 0000. Each week on the 5AA Sports Show, Rowey and Timmy invite some of their pals from the world of sport onto the show for a chat. Thanks to Pals, Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals.
Hi, Brett Ibbott here for Mawson Lakes Mazda. It's always a good idea to buy a Mazda, and now it's even better. when you unlock end of financial year deals early. All makes, models and colours plus low-K demos are being cleared with immediate delivery. You'll also get free on-roads, free stamp duty, free 12 months retro and $500 worth of accessories. No gimmicks, just great deals. Get your end of financial year Mazda early at Mawson Lakes Mazda, Salisbury Highway. T's and C's apply.
Oh, here's one. Hey, you leaving, mate?
Yeah, one sec, buddy.
Okay, no worries.
Oh, come on. Hurry up. Hurry up. Hurry up.
Parking turning you into someone you're not? Search UPark app today.
Now, if you need to move, your best move has to be hiring from Budget Car and Truck Rental.
That's it, from A to B, you name it. To get started, you'll need the boxes and the tape storage. Now, they get all that for you. They make sure that all the possessions, when you're travelling, they come up pristine at the other end. That's Budget. They got you sorted.
Look, they do. And you'll need the perfect set of wheels. Budget has them all. Cars, big and small, moving vans, trucks available on a standard driver's licence. Plus, there's utes, there's hybrids, trailers, 12 to 25-seater buses, and much more.
Now, once you've chosen the vehicle of choice, grab Budget's blankets, trolley, and the move will go smooth.
Yeah. Job done with Bouget, that's Budget. Family-owned business with friendly staff you can count on and multiple locations across our great state.
Yeah, got something big to budge? Budget with Budget Rental Truck. Call 13 27 27.
Personal data. Pulverised. When you recycle old phones with Mobile Muster, nothing is left behind. Phones are sorted, dismantled, then crushed and shredded and smelted. Memory boards destroyed. Privacy secured. Data is truly irrecoverable. Safely recycle your old phones with Mobile Muster. Visit mobilemuster.com.au for more information.
You'll make me wanna 8:40 tonight.
Look who's back. I'm looking at it.
Kitty Flanagan's back.
I didn't even know.
With Pete Hellier, Bron Lewis, Tom, Ed and Sam.
It's a wonderful lineup that they've gone with.
That's crazy, kids. Have you been paying attention? 8:40 tonight on 10.
One of the best things about South Australia is there's so much of it. Fortunately, getting a parcel from one side to the other is easy with Stateliner. Sure, Stateliner have a fleet of modern, comfortable buses, but they'll also carry freight across the state for you. Affordable rates, and your parcel goes on the next available bus. From the city to Port Pirie, Whyalla and Port Augusta, Ceduna and Port Lincoln, the Riverland, Mount Gambier and many towns in between. Get your parcel moving quickly. Put it on the Stateliner bus.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
13 minutes to 5 on our Monday footy review. Crows captain Jordan Dawson will join us after 5 o'clock. And if you haven't already, you can watch the show live on our Morn Team Cheltenham Hyundai live stream, which is on the 5AA Facebook and YouTube social pages. It's a great way to take in the program. But right now, it's time to get you involved with one of our favourite segments on a Monday.
Like, love, loathe.
I loathe you.
Tell us what you liked, loved or loathed from the weekend of sport. Call him now, 8223 0000.
Yeah, like, love, loathe, a bit of fun on a Monday. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. I tell you what, I don't know whether I like this text or whether I loathe it, but Crow Joe sent in and said, "Hey, Timmy, I grew up as a Glenelg supporter. You and your mob destroyed my footy childhood, and now it's payback time. A power, enjoy the ride." Gee.
Wow.
Oh, Joe, my apologies. My apologies, but yeah, nice while it lasted. Right, my like. Good news. Have a listen to this.
Adelaide United's favourite son, Craig Goodwin, will be back playing at the club next season. With his contract about to expire, a reunion with his hometown club is all but locked in for the 33-year-old. Adelaide management has kept in constant contact with Goodwin since his departure after the Star Socceroo left the door open to move back home to be with his family.
Yeah, we spoke to Nathan Cosmina a couple of weeks ago, and he all but said, yeah, I'll be on in a few weeks to have a chat with you about that. So I reckon it's great news.
It's great news.
Yeah,
that is a real coup.
That's a like for sure. My love is for, well, all the Crystal Palace fans out there winning an FA Cup. They're glad all over.
But this is more what they were doing. And here's Munoz, who was very involved then. Oh, it's exactly the same. Eze arrives on the scene, the same as the semi-final, the same as at City. And with their first blow struck in anger, Crystal Palace take the lead. And the whistle isn't blown, but it is now. There's a new name on the FA Cup. It's Crystal Palace.
Fortunate enough 3 years ago to go to one of their home games, and they're passionate supporters, and to never have won any silverware at the top level. That is just fantastic for those fans. And their coach made a comment. He said, "Look, we wanted to give them something for life, and that is the moment for life." So, well done, congratulations. And my loathe is as simple as Port's third heavy loss. Just pretty hard to swallow that one.
No, it is 3. What about the fact you haven't won the last quarter?
Yeah.
That's up there.
That might be next week's.
What about your hamstring injuries?
Yeah, loathe those as well. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
stop adding to my list.
Yeah, I've channeled Caro earlier in the show. I'm going to channel her again. I like how Caroline Wilson has gone hard at the AFL, and I mean hard. She clearly must be reading my text. Have a listen.
The communication department is floundering. The footy department is floundering. The legal council, in my view, is floundering. There's no structure. The AFL has become a regime of crime and punishment. The umpiring is floundering. Never have I seen the players and umpires more at odds with each other. Never have I seen players so disgruntled with head office over fines and the refusal to listen. Never have I seen the coaches more unhappy about the lack of respect they're being shown on every level. These are smart, good people, but none of them is showing leadership, and none of them seem to be in the right roles. And everyone is saying they need a deputy or they need another strong person. Well, no, you step up and do the job or step down.
Okay, so that was Sandra Sully. I mean Caroline Wilson there.
Step up or step down.
Did you get my gag there?
Oh, I did.
Sandra Sully?
Yeah.
She's slow to that dance. I mean, I've been over that like white on rice.
Good chat to Mr. Kennett last week, Jeff Kennett, didn't you?
Correct, mate, and all clear. My love, and I hope it will be a love, and I will set my alarm at 4:30 Thursday morning.
Yes.
Tottenham take on Man United.
Oh, wow.
For the Europa final. Now, both of them have had a stinky Premier League.
This is your salvation, isn't it?
You win this. I tell you, if Ange wins this, look out. If he loses it, he'll be coaching Adelaide United. Because I think they'll clip him. Do you think they'll? No, they will.
Well, it wouldn't be a bad get, but
it'll be a great get. I mean, but they will clip him.
Oh, probably he'd be surprised if he didn't.
Now, I love this quote from Ange. Have a listen.
I don't usually win things. I always win things in my second year.
I always win things in my second year. How many years has he been at Tottenham?
His second?
Yeah.
So there you go.
God, I'd love him to win that.
Oh, that'd be good.
I would love him to win that.
It'd be a bit of, what would you say, compensation for a nasty year.
It'll be history-making to some point as an Australian with our first manager that's doing something really well. If I had unlimited funds, I would get on a kite and I'd fly over there to watch that. I reckon that would be a wild celebration.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
But I haven't got unlimited funds, and I'm with you and fitting windscreen, so never going to happen. My loathe, the green algae bloom in our Gulf. Now, it's drifted down near Rogue Point. If you don't know where Rogue Point is, it's just before Ardrossan.
It's anywhere near a footy field.
Everything. Yes, no. Well, it's still fishing.
That's true.
Oh, it's killing sharks, mate. I'm an ecologist.
Yeah,
I'm a naturalist.
One of the greatest.
I'm
an ecologist.
I can't sleep at night with all those sharks rolling over onto the beach and onto the shore. This is what we need. We need a 4-day southerly just to break that bloom up, and a solid
maybe
2
throw
weeks
some rain into it.
Of drenching rain, because our farmers driving back. You know I love my farmers because we're off the land. They're dry seeding.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like a dust bowl. And you know what I've told you about dry seeding and the yield? We need a rain.
You got most of it wrong, but that was all right.
Now, big fella upstairs.
Tim on the tractor. He normally tells us what's going on.
The big fella upstairs. I loathe the fact that you're making us drought-ridden here. And algae bloom. And the sharks are dying. Didn't affect the King George Whiting. Put 30 in the tank.
Well,
hello, Vino. Or Vinko. Or Vinky.
Yeah, pretty close. Rowey, Vinko, how are you?
I got the V right.
How you doing? Hey, long-time listener, first-time caller.
Good man.
Same as Timmy. Crystal Palace, what an absolute awesome feat. You get so many supporters around the world. It doesn't matter what sport it is. They follow their team with passion, and some never, ever get to see them win or lift a trophy. And to see the grown men in the street cry, I heard the other day, a 95-year-old was crying just to see his team finally win something. That's absolutely super in sport.
Oh, it is, Vinco. It's a good friend of mine he's probably 30 years of age, but he's come over, he's moved over from London to be a paramedic here in Australia. And, he went to watch Port play, went over to the casino, invited me to come over at 1 a.m. I said, I'll be snoring by then, buddy, but all the best. Plus, I said, I've had 2 losses. I don't want to drag your team down. He's a mad Crystal Palace man, and he took us to that game 3 years ago. And for him and guys like that your whole life, you've not seen anything. And then to win, it was magnificent. So thanks for the call, Vinco.
Well done, Vinco. Dave sent in a text. Rowey, the environmentalist. I've heard everything.
No.
I am.
Good stuff. Let's go to g'day, John.
John.
Hi, Tim, Stephen. Timmy, what's wrong with Port Adelaide? They're a good club, and it just seemed that was horrible the other night. The skill level was horrible.
Yeah, and it's it's the third big heavy loss, and I said it in the open. They look confused as to how they're meant to play. I don't know that they know what it is, because they went back to the handball happy thing again on the weekend, and it was almost 1-for-1 in handball. So I don't know what you're seeing, John.
Yeah, I just think their skill level's not right, and I just think they should advertise and get the best available coach. People saying that Carr's in the driver's seat to take over. Sorry, he's in the driver's seat now, pulling strings. But if Port Adelaide are a very good club, and they've got to get the best available coach out there. It's not about succession plan. I reckon they should get the best available coaching, because at the moment it's not working.
Thanks, John. Cheers for that, mate. And, there's definitely a confusion that I see out there at the moment, that once they're in trouble, they can't arrest it.
Yeah, the momentum runs are becoming very
14
tough.
14 of the last 16 goals kicked by Geelong.
Yeah, and Port Adelaide have the most 5 or more goal runs scored against them this year.
Don't ruin my rap, mate. That's coming up.
But that is a damning stat as well. Yeah. The most times in the league this year.
You want me to start pointing out things about your club, mate? Do you? You want to go, do you?
Hey, getting defensive, Rowey.
What time is it?
Hello.
Come on, let's go.
Well,
I like that, Timmy. Now, that's the Timmy I played against for 14 years.
If we're going to get an Arky Timmy after the 5 o'clock news, you won't want to leave.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Built like a brick house. Basic Trailers are your best mate for any load. Use the code 5AA to pay only $1 for rego on purchase of your new trailer. True blue deal at Paraka. Basic Trailers. Basically, better.
Adelaide's local, trusted and truly connected talkback radio station. 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Steinborner Hyundai has always been well worth a trip. And now there's another great reason to visit. Hyundai's full range of hybrids. Steinborner Hyundai has a hybrid to suit every driver. From the hybrid i30, the Kona, the Tucson, as well as the all-new Santa Fe hybrid family-sized SUV. Experience the difference at Steinborner Barossa and Clare, with outstanding service and a great range of vehicles. And you'll see why. Steinborner Hyundai is well worth a trip. Steinborner.com.au.
Dreaming of a getaway? Now's the perfect time. With the G'day Parks app, not only do you get access to more parks in more places, but if you book on the app before the 31st of August for travel anytime this year, you'll be entered into the draw to win free fuel for a year. A whole year of free fuel. Book to win and get away on us. G'day Parks, the easy way to get away. Here's good. G'dayParks.com.au.
T's and C's apply. Permit number ACT TP25/00645.
Right price. Well, you've heard the jingle about the heating and the cooling and the like, and I've used them actually for air conditioning. But now they're a name that is into new heights. Roofing, my friend. Yeah. Right Price are now your go-to people for all things roofing. You know what? You'll still get the exceptional service, value and quality that you used to, but now in roofing.
Great South Australian company, this one. Gotta like them. Right Price Roofing, they do it all. From total roof replacement, it includes tile roof installation to tile roof repairs and cleaning. In fact, the Right Price Roofing team has over 25 years' experience in roof repairs and restoration. They're leaders.
Absolutely. And they'll always provide you with the best looking result. Now, if you're looking at your roof and you're thinking, that needs a damn good spruce up, you know what?
Yep.
Get it painted by Right Price. They do a fantastic job, and they'll always use quality roofing products in everything they do.
You know those really fancy terracotta tiles, get all the moss on it? They tidy all that up as well.
Bang. Look at
pops.
that.
I love popping. There it goes. And for peace of mind, Right Price Roofing will give you a rock-solid quote.
Yeah.
So the only surprise you'll get is the magnificent finished job.
No surprises here. Look, they fix up leaking roofs. If you need it clean, they'll do that. Total roof restoration, they'll do it right. They'll do it brilliantly because they are Right Price Roofing. Visit them at rightpriceroofing.com.au.
Right Price Roofing. You can get your roof right at Right Price.
The very latest news and information. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 6 tonight, sunny tomorrow, 18. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Beat the winter rush today and make sure your home is comfortable all year round with Mannix.
Credit cards, cannabis, meth and equipment have been seized from a property at Mitchell Park. Some of the items were allegedly taken from the nearby Marion Caravan Park. A 36-year-old man has been charged with a range of offences. He's been bailed to front court in June. Main construction works are officially underway on the Torrens to Darlington project. Heavy machinery is on site and activity has ramped up at the southern precinct in Clovelly Park. Premier Peter Malinauskas says when complete in 2031, it'll create a non-stop south road.
I cannot possibly overstate the size and the complexity of this $15.4 billion project. But when it is completed, which is actually, in the scheme of things, not that far away, it'll mean that up to 40 minutes in commute time is saved as a result of the removal of 21 sets of traffic lights for people during peak hour.
Australia could be a step closer to solving the impasse over a free trade deal with Europe. More from Zach De Silva.
The government abandoned trade negotiations with the EU in 2023 after disagreements over naming rights for products like feta cheese. But the deal may now be back on. Trade Minister Don Farrell will speak with his European counterpart on Tuesday.
If there's some goodwill, I think we can get a free trade agreement.
Europe is also pushing for a defence deal with Australia, which could include more joint exercises. Strategic expert Robert Potter from the Australian National University says that would be welcome progress.
We're seen as a trusted entity, and we're also a country that has significant security needs.
Australia says it's open to further conversations about the military pact.
Telstra says they're confident that Vodafone's claims have no merit. Vodafone wants the ACCC to investigate the provider, stating it's exaggerating its network reach by as much as 40%. Telstra's Shanna Seravarante says they'd welcome a comparison with other competitors to disprove the claim.
We are very happy to be transparent and work with the regulatory bodies, the ACCC or the ACMA, to put our maps side by side with our competitors to demonstrate that what we're saying is correct.
A case of deja vu for drummer Zach Starkey. He's been fired by The Who for a second time. The band has just announced their farewell tour later this year. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the new 2025 AFL footy cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
Port Adelaide insists the club will not be fast-tracking its coach's succession plan despite another big loss on the weekend. The Power is now 15th on the ladder and head west this weekend to face Freo. Assistant coach Tyson Goldsack says Ken Hinkley won't be handing the reins to Josh Carr early.
When the season is over, which is in late September hopefully, then the season's over. And it's up until that date. So at the moment, it's Ken's got the energy. We support him.
Injuries have hit the club. Jason Horne-Francis is looking at a month on the sidelines with a hamstring injury. Lockie Jones could be out for up to 8 weeks, while Josh Sin is recovering from bruising to his hip. Injury will sideline several players interstate this weekend, including Patrick Dangerfield, who'll miss Thursday's match against the Western Bulldogs. More from Eddie Summerfield.
With a history of soft tissue injuries, Geelong captain Patrick Dangerfield is expected to miss a maximum of 2 games after coming from the field against Port Adelaide with a hamstring injury.
On the scale of the hamstrings that I've done, it doesn't feel too bad.
St Kilda is waiting to learn the extent of Jack McRae's back injury sustained in last night's loss to West Coast. The Saints midfielder didn't fly home with teammates last night. Tom Lynch has been ruled out of Friday's dream time at the G for Richmond. The Tigers forward has suffered delayed concussion.
And Carlton midfielder Cooper Lord is the AFL Rising Star nominee for round 10. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the big white building, still at 412 North East Road.
Afternoon at Jebbs Cross, got a ute on fire there, Main North Road near Matthews Road. Crash slowing things up at Prospect for the drive home. This one's Churchill Road near Palmer Avenue. And if you're up round through the hills at the moment at Lenswood, bit of loose gravel scattered around Lobethal Road near Tears Road. Busy Brighton Road, Brighton. Quite slow Main North Road at Enfield with a camera Perry Bar Road at Hallett Cove. The snooze flash sale is on now. Save up to 60% off selected mattresses and 40% off selected bed frames. Hurry, sale must end today. Exclusions, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota forklift advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 6 tonight, sunny tomorrow, 18. Wednesday, partly cloudy and 19, and the same on Thursday. Right now, it's 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Beth Excel. Tonight, the latest predictions on tomorrow's Reserve Bank rates decision. Vodafone accuses Telstra of 15 years of misleading customers about its coverage. The popular vitamin that could be poisoning you, a new scam that hijacks your phone, plus Rory Sloane's take on the Crows and Powers' tough weekend. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 Now.
We live in a coastal property. It's a 3-storey residence that's built on quite a steep sloping block. We needed the house repainted. It hadn't been painted since we've been here for 12 years.
We chose Paint Professionals because they were the only people that we made contact with who seemed to think that this was possible. I'd definitely recommend Paint Professionals to others. We're very impressed with the way they approached the job and we're extremely happy with the results.
How do you become a home hero? Easy. You fix that sliding door that's been dragging and scraping, dragging and scraping, dragging and... Well, you get it. You've been living it. Call Rollerco. Rollerco will have the parts you need and they'll tell you how to fix it too. You'll be an instant home hero. Well, in sliding doors anyway. Say goodbye to dragging and scraping sliding doors. Visit rollerco.com.au. They'll get you rolling.
At Blackwell Funerals, we care about what matters most. When it comes to saying goodbye, we're here with compassion, dignity and support. Visit blackwellfunerals.com.au to learn more.
The news and issues that matter to South Australia. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 5, it's our Monday footy review. We'll speak to the Crows captain in Jordan Dawson at 5:30 tonight. We'll talk the FA Cup final as well with Optus Sports' very own Tommy Orr. And you can watch the show live on the Mornteen Cheltenham Hyundai live stream. We're streaming right now on Facebook and YouTube. But of course, as a Monday footy review is always about, most importantly, it is all about you and your calls and your opinions on the game. 8223 0000.
Yeah, looking forward to Jordan Dawson at 5:30 to see where the Crows lost it. We're taking your calls, as you said, 8223 0000. Let's go to Broadmeadows. Eddie.
Hello, is that Rowey and Tim?
Oh, this is the Eddie.
Hello, mate. Hey,
you didn't forget about
Eddie
the bed.
from Broadmeadows who used to do a quiz show at this time of night. I've got a couple of quiz questions for you, boys.
Shoot.
What channel did Eddie Maguire start his television career on?
Channel 10.
Yep.
Correct. What
Beautiful.
was the name of the movie that broke Bo Derek in the 80s?
10.
Correct. What is X? in Roman numerals in Arabic.
I know where you're going here. Hey, Eddie.
How many coaches' votes did Josh Stakos get on Saturday?
10. Eddie!
What number is the greatest player of the modern era, Scott Pendlebury?
10. Yeah, fair call.
And finally, how many times has Collingwood won on the trot against Adelaide?
Oh, that's the nastiest one. 10.
Well, hang on. Well done, Eddie. Welcome. Yeah.
10.
10.
10, thank you.
All right, so what do I win? We got them all right.
Mate, I'll just bring up this. What was that wine you had a bet with me again?
The Rusden Black Guts.
Fantastic. And I said it was 2-1 on Friday, and I've got to get now a bonus bottle, surely, for getting 10 in a row. Come on.
Oh, well, we've got your address. A bet's a bet. No, but please acknowledge this. Did you think the 50-metre penalty was there? Did you think Wayne Miller threw the ball? 6 and 6 equals 12. We would have won by 2 if it wasn't #free kick Collingwood.
Oh, mate, there were a couple of times. The crow throw was back in business. Absolutely on the weekend. You've actually got to hit the ball with your other hand. Come on. It was unbelievable. I'll tell you who was the bloke who, virally Phil Philbert, as I said last week, has been fantastic. But he got cleaned up by, who was that bloke? Where's he from? Frampton. Where's he from?
Billy.
Oh, Billy, yeah.
Port Adelaide into Adelaide into Collingwood.
Yeah. And he's a premiership player. How did that happen?
Yeah, no, and McCrew was good. No, look, a great game of footy. The Crows take that one home. They're going to be very good this year. Not being patronising. Went to the game. They just wouldn't go away. Fogarty, I thought, was fantastic. Dawson, who you said is coming up, can I stay on and offer him anything he wants to come to Collingwood? He is an absolute, he's a ripper. And I tell you what, it was great. I thought, I really enjoyed about the game. I thought it was played in a great spirit, in wet conditions, no whinging, no moaning, really good play, some fantastic skills, hard at it all day. And, you had a few blokes down and said, Phil Thorpe won't, have a game like that. Tex was beaten by the Collingwood defence did really well. Jeremy Howe was just sensational. But look, so much to enjoy. And when my man Sam Berry got on, he almost turned the game. So there was something for everybody there. And if I'm an Adelaide Crows supporter, I go away with that one going, right, that's a really good learning experience on the MCG against a pretty good side.
Okay, I've got another 10 question. How many more games do Collingwood have at home this year? 10. And of those 10, how many at the MCG? 8. I mean, honestly.
Well, it should be 10. I don't know why we're down. Well, we've got to go down to Marvel Stadium this week. I don't know where it is. I don't do Marvel Stadium. And we've been interstate all the time. No wonder the ratings in the on a Saturday night are down and things like that. We've got to get the big hitters in the big venues. You can't. We don't do rural. We don't travel. We're just there, fund the competition, be happy.
We don't do rural. Timmy, did you hear that? We don't do rural.
Well, he's right. It's a fact.
Eddie,
can't argue with facts.
We don't do rural.
Taylor Swift doesn't do, Birdsville track.
Do you get your Bentley out in the wet?
Oh, good point.
What for? You don't do that. Mate, you send the buffaloes out on these sort of situations. The marketing teams, those ones that they have around the place. You don't send out the big guys out there. Gee, what a waste of time. No, it's we've actually been out and about a bit the Pies this year. So now we'll get a bit of a run home, which is a good thing.
Well done. Well, Eddie, thanks for ringing in from Broadmeadows. My men will get hold of your men. You'll get a nice little Rusden straight down your tonsils. And that is something we do far better than Victorians, is making good Shiraz.
Yeah, that's mind you, the Yarra Valley stuff's pretty good, but I love the South Australian wines. The Molly Duca is magnificent down there in the McLaren Vale, and had some great stuff over for Gather Round. So, Timmy, it's been great to be with you and my new mate who's got a new nickname, Senator.
The problem with Eddie is you can't give him a Jacobs Creek. He goes for the top shelf.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie from Broadmeadows, thank you.
Jacobs Creek, mate, we don't gargle that over here.
See you, mate. Eddie McGuire rings in from Broadmeadows. What a smart ass.
Well, he wants his bottle, doesn't he?
No, he does. But deserves it.
Yeah.
He promotes the game brilliantly.
You must have thought at times that you might have been getting one off of him. Would have been nice. But,
I did, because I wouldn't be going for the bottom
invested.
shelf.
You were invested.
I reckon I set him at Penfold 707 once. Anyway.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We're going to get Rowey and Timmy's wrap from both Port Adelaide and the Crows' losses from the weekend straight after this break, and we'll keep taking your calls as well, your passionate views from what happened from both those games. 8223 0000. It's our Monday footy review. Here's your traffic.
Afternoon at Jeps Cross. Got a ute on fire causing headaches. Main North Road near Matthews Road. A crash at Prospect to look out for. Churchill Road near Palmer Avenue. And works at Queenstown Port Road near Weber Street. Busy at the moment, Main North Road at Enfield heading out of the city. And pretty busy at the moment too, Northcote Terrace. As you're driving out through North Adelaide. But cameras, Candy Road at Halloran Hill and Oak Ridge Road at Aberfoyle Park. It's schnitzel heaven at Faster Pasta, 300-gram chicken cotoletta, mushrooms, onions, cherry, tomato with cream sauce and crispy rosemary potatoes. At Faster Pasta, dine-in only. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
All right, so that'll be absolutely diddly squat. Zero. Zilch. Nada.
Woohoo! Buy any new, used or demo vehicle from Wayville Hyundai before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland on us. Groceries covered, car sorted, more money for what matters. Visit wayvillehyundai.com.au to find out more. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Another great deal driven by Australian Motors.
City Discount Tires. Get saving now with City Discount Tires. We're offering great deals on the world's top brands in tyres, wheels, suspension and parts. Suitable for four-wheel drives, SUVs and passenger cars, including Falcon, Michelin, Pirelli, Kumho, Hankook and many more. Finance options available. Search citydiscounttires.com.au and locate your nearest dealer today. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value. City Discount Tires.
What?
Alrighty, yeah. This is a live read. Oh, I thought it was. I thought it was yours. I thought it was the complete windscreen.
The first name here is Tim.
It is. And you know what? I should
Sam, be to the list because he never makes mistakes.
I know.
Is that me or him?
It's all Tim.
It was me.
Because he's a bit flat.
I should. Yeah, I am flat.
The game's finished, mate.
I know that, but I'm
You're
outside the 24 hours,
and I'm not complaining. I'm just flat.
I was in the car driving. The minute we were going over to Ardross and staying at the caravan park, do a bit of fishy in the afternoon. I said, turn it up.
Oh,
you went non-verbal again.
Oh, I wasn't too bad.
No, you were awful.
I said a few things. Well, I didn't swear, and that is a good thing. But I tell you, a good swear jar is the one at Buy Urban, of course, because at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, it's full of pledges, promises. The whole team at Buy Urban, well, they'll swear they'll do for you.
I tell you what, they are Adelaide's home renovation experts. They're sensational. You get a Buy Urban bathroom and or kitchen, or both and or one of, they are just superb. Now, here's one. Laura is the in-house interior designer. Laura is in the team. She's new to it. She's extremely talented. She swears to work closely with all of you and all of your inspirations and all of your design, and just says you bring it together and just let it be yours.
That's a gift, that is. That's a gift.
Not many people that is a gift.
I do not have that gift. So,
she
Laura,
swears.
Well done.
Well done,
and look,
Laura.
Here's one from the boss himself, Coxie. David swears to be available to work through any issues should they arise, but I doubt they will. But if you do, he will deliver a positive outcome.
And you
Simple
want
as
to
that.
speak to the boss?
He's the boss.
I want Coxie.
Yeah,
Bang.
done.
There he is. Now, for a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, and that is their core, quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide Home Renovation Experts.
At Southern Cross Care, our residential care homes embrace a healthy ageing philosophy. Our highest priorities are our residents' safety, health, well-being and quality of life. With cafes, health and wellness centres, libraries, gardens and caring, compassionate staff, our homes are vibrant places to live. With beautiful locations across Adelaide, Mount Barker and the Fleurieu, there's a location nearby. For more information, visit southerncrosscare.com.au.
Better for life.
Are you or someone you know living with epilepsy? 1 in 25 Australians will develop epilepsy at some stage in their lives. The Epilepsy Centre in Adelaide is dedicated to raising awareness in the community to reduce the stigma and create a more welcoming and inclusive society. We do this by providing epilepsy awareness and seizure first aid to people living with epilepsy, their families and friends. Thanks to state government funding, we can offer this education at no cost. For more information, go to epilepsycentre.org.au.
All right, that'll be absolutely diddly squat.
Buy any vehicle from Suzuki in the city before June 30 and you could win an entire year of groceries from Foodland. T's and C's apply. Licence number T25707. Driven by Australian Motors.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
19 after 5, our Monday footy review, so we're taking your calls right here, right now, 8223 0000, and the Crows captain in Jordan Dawson will join us at 5:30.
Looking forward to that. Now, Crows had a crack, no question. They didn't lose any fans. They just didn't capitalise on the big moments, I thought. I know that's a bit simplistic. If you look at it, they won stoppages, clearances, centre square, inside 50s, contested ball, all the numbers they lost against Port but won. They reversed that and they lose by 10 points. Oh, Blake from Broadview reminded us of that. 10 points. Here's Matty Nicks. Yeah.
As we do on Mondays after a game where we don't get the outcome we're after and we kick ourselves. I think we're sick of that. So, we know we're a good side. We want to be a great side like they are. So we've got to get ourselves to that level if we want to be consistent.
Well, yeah, they're sick of it. Fans are sick of it. I'm sick of it. But they're close. But near enough's not good enough sometimes. Now, it shows you've got to have every aspect of your game in the right place at the right time, don't you? So you can have a midfield that's firing, but your forwards don't kick a goal. You have your forwards and backs star, but your midfield don't, which is what the Port Adelaide was, and they got a result. So great teams... they all play together, don't they? They get it to combine together, and I think that's what the great teams need to do. And I think that's the Crows' challenge, to get all three aspects right consistently, quarter by quarter, game by game. And that's a work on. They'll get there. I've got confidence in that. And just on the game, Rankin had 2 set shots that he kicked out of bounds on the full. Dan Curtin was 30 out, directly in front. Hit the post. 50-metre penalty late in the third quarter. Cameron walks in for a goal. The non-handball paid for Miller when he did clearly handle it. 10 people did it. The umpire guessed. That was right on three-quarter time. Elliott goals. Rochelle deep in the last had a quarter. Last quarter he had a shot, probably reasonably for him. He should have put it through post height. Right. It didn't. Went down the other end. They got a goal and they won by 12 points. It was all about costly moments.
Had a couple of costly moments in the game that, when you look back on it, in a game that's really hard to score in because of conditions, those costly errors become even more costly. 50-metre penalties just outside to give them a goal, or a mark on the goal line right on the siren. Just small things that we know we've got to get right if we want to beat the best side in the comp.
Yeah, and I think great teams win big moments, and Collingwood are certainly there. Look at the close games they win. I'm not going to say that the umpires don't ever give a bad decision to them, but it's leaning towards that, Timmy, with your right smile. I've no doubt that this team is a top 8 team. There's no doubt about that. I think they got the talent, they got the game plan and everything to do it. Big month ahead before the bye. Your bye is in 2 weeks' time after this week. They've got the Eagles at home, Sydney in Sydney, Lions at home, and then they've got Hawks in Tassie. If they can split that and be 8 and 6 at round 15, there might be a little too. Just starting to bubble.
Interesting.
8 and 6, I'd take that.
Got a Unique Home Style Foods text from Mr. Scott Hodges. Says he was at the Crows game. He went and watched it over there in Melbourne. And he said he thought at the start of the year that the Crows would finish top 4, and a lot of people said...
he did.
You're off your rocker.
He did.
Well, he said, no, umpiring, yes, substandard, probably the worst I've seen, but consistently bad, not favouring one side, Stephen. So, okay. Yeah, just take that on board, all right?
Well, you know what? When Sir Scotty Hodges looks me in the eyes, I go, yes,
just reverse your last 3 lines.
Can I take them back?
Beautiful stuff. Thanks for that, Scotty. Port Adelaide. You know what was interesting? I was with Tom Wren and obviously Warren Treadway. We started calling the game, and very early on, we all said to each other, gee, this is lacklustre, isn't it? It feels like there's no urgency, no intensity in it, and it was just sort of rolling through. And it sort of did that for almost the first half. 9 points down at half-time, and you thought, well, we missed a few easy shots, which seems to be a bit of a recurring factor. And you thought, you're almost in this. The Lockie Jones incident of doing the hamstring...
turning point.
Was almost went in unison from there. From that moment onwards, it was like Port Adelaide just could not stop anything that Geelong did. The second half, they were completely wiped out by Geelong, by a harder working team. As simple as that. They just worked harder the contest, won those balls, and just turned it over. Tom Wren made the comment, this is now 8 times that Port Adelaide have had 5 or more goals scored in succession against them
This season?
This season.
Well, that's too many.
That was damning. It just said to me, we're just opening up and not knowing how to tighten up and grit the teeth and arrest that momentum
Resilience.
back. Haven't been able to find that. Haven't been able to do that. Now, if the scouts for, opposition teams are coming and watching Port Adelaide, they'll go back and just say, look, pressure Port to the point where they'll start turning it over and you'll be able to score easily on them. So that's a really not a great way to be described.
No.
But that's where they're at this current moment. 14 in the last 16 goals of the game says exactly that. So the on-off again inconsistency, it's frustrating. The over-handball crept back in on the weekend, much to the crowd's annoyance. You could hear that coming. More injuries that I don't think our list is able to sort of cover off either. Another 3 on the list. So they've got FIVEAA away, a bye, which I think a few of the injured blokes will be hopefully recovering up in that period of time. GWS away, Melbourne, Sydney home and there. If Port Adelaide was a blueprint going into the AFL, and certainly in that 01 to 05 period, they were, I think, exactly this. It described them, they would have been tough, courageous, never give up attitude, and ruthless in their pursuit of winning. I wonder how many of those they tick off now.
Yeah, that is damning from yourself. No, good analogy. I can't add or subtract from that, but the callers can on 822 300 00. Hello, Sammy.
How are you?
Hey, Sam.
Timmy, I'm just, I think, how will I say this? Good Port Adelaide people who are unfortunately not with us anymore would be rolling over in their graves and saying, how on earth have the people who run the shop down there let this club, proud club, be so mentally pathetic? And they are mentally pathetic, Tim.
Yeah, it seems that way, Sam, and that goes back to those heavy losses where they just aren't able to grit the teeth. That's the way I described it, gritting the teeth and trying to arrest the momentum, and they're not good performances, are they? Simple as that. You can't hide away from those thrashings. Let's go to Brett at Hillbank.
Well, it's adding up now, the damning stats.
Yeah.
Hello, Brett.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah, g'day. Look, I'm not a Port supporter, as you know, but, I mean, look, when they announced this decision at the start of the season, I was gobsmacked, to be honest. I mean, and then you had Kane Corns 5 minutes after it happened go on social media saying, well, Port Adelaide aren't going to make the 8 this year. And, do you think they're going to make the 8?
Oh, God, it's in front of them, Brett. You got on a run last year, didn't you? In a similar position to this.
They won, I think, 17 and 6 last year, so there wasn't any moments like this. We're 4 and 6 now.
7.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
but you got on a good run where you won a whole heap in a row.
Yeah, Brett, it's going to be hard.
Well, the
road,
answer to
no
that is
doubt.
no, Brett. They're 15th at the moment. There's a HR term called change or leave, and I think Ken's in that phase now, and it's no fault of his. He asked to stay on. He wanted to stay on. They said there's a succession plan, and they've done it, and people can have a crack at all of that. But the change part of it is they need to win. He's in a win-loss industry, so he needs to start winning last quarters, winning those tight games, winning fight games, not getting smashed off the park. Now, if he can do that, he can stay till the end of the year, but if he can't, your board's got to step in and make a call, Tim. But I don't reckon they will.
The history says no.
No.
Let's go to Salisbury Downs. G'day, Craig.
G'day, Jim. G'day, what's your other name there, Mr. Rowe, sir?
What's his
Hey,
name?
listen.
Been called that before, Craig.
Yeah, well, it just depends on how you spell it.
That's good.
My major concern is in relation to the apparent disappearance of the push in the back rule. There are players who are getting flattened left, right and centre, in my opinion, through the AFL, who will end up, unluckily, unfortunately, with some very serious neck and back injuries if there's not more attention paid to that rule, which seems to have been disappeared off the plate.
Do you know what I think, Craig? I reckon I feel for umpires here. Fancy me saying that. There are players that get the slightest little touch in the back. Sicily did one on the weekend, and they fly like a shooting star 30 metres forward. Umpire panics and pays a free kick, and then you go back and have a look at it, and it was when your arms are bent like that. I'm up on the live stream, and you're allowed to hold ground with your elbows as long as you don't extend your arms
I always
and
think,
push.
I always think flat hands on the back. I reckon you're in trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yeah.
That's right. So the umpire's damned if they do, damned if they don't. And I reckon they're a bit gun-shy because they know that too many players are milking that.
But if you
like the head high. There was some head highs on the weekend where the umpires did a terrific call and he led with his head, play on.
Bad luck.
Bad luck. So I think they're adjusting.
I think if you just say, look, any open hand on the back, you're going to be in trouble. And players are smart. They'll adjust straight away. They'll get their forearms there and the like. But as soon as you do that, I reckon you're in trouble. And they've been letting people get away with it. So,
hello, Mike.
G'day. How about we take the pressure off the administration at Port Adelaide? Truly, it's up to the blokes out there to do what they do, or should be doing. They've got a professional organisation running them, and at the end of the day, it's up to the gutless bastards out there.
We had to dump that. Get another word, Mike, for the AFL. We can bring you back, but get another word. We can't.
Can't use
that
ones
term.
on air.
Keep going.
Don't.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't blame the administration. It's up to the buggers out there on the oval.
Yeah, I think there's a fair bit of responsibility upon players to bring themselves ready to play for effort.
I agree.
I mean, a lot of people say, well, the coaches can't. Why do teams have coaches? They have coaches for a reason, don't they?
Yeah.
And it is to structure up a style of play, a clear message and the like. That's why we have coaches. So you've got to have them.
But I heard
otherwise they would just be run themselves, wouldn't they?
I heard you and Treaders after the game, and both you went at lengths to say there's a couple of things you pack when you go to a game.
Yeah.
Your footy boots, your mouth guard and effort. And that is as simplistic as it gets.
Yeah.
The great players always did.
Consistently.
Macca didn't pack a mouth guard, but he always packed effort. Chris McDermott didn't need a mouth guard. He packed effort. Packed his boots and effort. If you just bring those two things to a game...
You're going to go right.
Don't you reckon? And I know people go, well, there's more to it than that. No, there actually isn't, because there's a thing called want and will, desire and effort and cracking in. And the players I've mentioned, you're in that category. You just find a way to win the ball.
And played with so many guys like that who just... brought exactly that.
That's all they bought. In actual fact, that is all they bought.
And got a game accordingly.
Not bad.
If you want to share your thoughts, you can have your say. You can join us on the show. Call in 8223 0000. The headline's coming up, and Jordan Dawson, captain of the Crows, next.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening. Mel Usher with the 5AA News headlines. Credit cards, cannabis, meth and drug equipment have been seized from a property at Mitchell Park. Some of the items allegedly taken from the Marion Caravan Park. The mushroom murder trial heard from a poisons expert today. The federal government says it remains very concerned about the welfare of Australian man Oscar Jenkins. And in sport, Carlton's Cooper Lord is the AFL Rising Star nominee for round 10. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Jeb's Cross, Ute on Fire, Main North Road near Matthews Road, Prospect, the Crest, Churchill Road near Palmer Avenue, slow for works at Queenstown, Port Road near Weber Street, and really busy at the moment, the Britannia Roundabout at Kensington Park there. Cameras, Hillier Road, Ranella, and Towers Terrace at Edwardstown. Try Pizza Hut's new Karate Kid Legends range for a chance to win a trip to New York and more. 2 flavours, 1 legendary range. Order at pizzahut.com.au and see the movie only in cinemas. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, down to 6 tonight, sunny tomorrow 18. Right now it's 14 degrees. We'll have more news at 6 on 5AA, always Adelaide.
In a bombshell announcement, Sarah Game has announced that she is leaving the party and is going to serve the remainder of her term as an independent.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
We have Sarah on the line now. What was the impetus for this?
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
Ultimately, this decision would be to allow me to just make the absolute best of my remaining years.
5AA Breakfast.
You might have joined the wrong party in the first place.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
The passing of someone close places unique stress on family and friends. At this time, Farrell and O'Neill Funerals are here to provide reassurance and peace of mind. Farrell and O'Neill offer creative guidance and advice to tailor a service that best honours your loved one. Whether a large gathering or a small, intimate service, Farrell and O'Neill share their generations of experience in tailoring a unique and meaningful farewell. Proudly SA family-owned and operated, because it's personal.
It's the end of financial year sale at Mitsubishi Motors with a $3,000 cash card on select Triton models.
Get out!
Yep, plus up to a $2,000 loyalty bonus for existing Mitsubishi owners.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm. That's up to $5,000 value. And all backed by Australia's first 10-year warranty with 10 years capped price servicing.
On my way!
Get into Mitsubishi Motors and get out on your next adventure. T's and C's and eligibility apply.
Complete windscreens.
Yes,
220 Main North. I'll do that one.
444.
We're the big red
koala.
Okay, and we're in what suburb?
Oh, it'd be Prospect, wouldn't it?
How many years is a family business?
Oh, gee, 50.
Timmy, you need to be on the books. Hey, listen, we're auto glaziers. We supply and fit front, rear, door glass. We find that hard to find quarter and opera of a car that you just can't. And they say, well, is it genuine? $1,200 or something like that? No, we'll go and find one. We'll do it for about $400.
Wow.
We tint, we chip, repair. Well, we go that extra yard's what I'm saying.
We do.
We go that extra yard. Got a team of ADAS technicians. We are truly your one-stop auto glass shop. So if you're insured, and not a lot of people have the confidence to do this, if you're insured, you can pick your repair of choice.
Correct.
You can say, I want to use them. They're RAA approved.
Complete
repairer. Windscreens. The big red
koala. 8269 4444.
If you've got a fleet car, we're a provider. SA Fleet, SG Fleet, lease plan, bang, boom, done.
Fleet.
So, well, do it. Big red koala, 220 Main North Road, Prospect. Call
8269 4444. We're not fleeting. So we'll look after your fleet.
Or Google and I'll answer it. CompleteWindscreens.com.au.
Prepare to be mesmerised by Mother Nature. A breathtaking arena spectacular featuring 90 of Australia's finest dancers, plus powerhouse vocalists Chloe Castledine and JD Smith. With a live orchestra and iconic pop hits, it's a 2-hour dance journey with hundreds of costumes, incredible choreography and dazzling effects. Mother Nature is a musical theatre experience for the whole family on one night only. 4th of July at the Adelaide Entertainment Centre. Tickets at Ticketek.
Here at FIVEAA, we're all about supporting local. Head to the Excelsior Hotel, where kids eat free every weekend. The Excelsior Hotel, 110 Coghlan Street, Brompton. Feels like coming home, but better.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
24 minutes to 6. We are still taking your calls on our Monday footy review, 8223 0000. But right now, all thanks to our really good friends at Sterling Homes, whether your block's the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, you can customise your build with Sterling Homes.
Well, Crows went toe-to-toe with the Maggies on the MCG, fell short by 10 points. We were reminded by that by Eddie Maguire earlier in the show. His favourite number now is 10. Yeah, well, joining us is Crows skipper, Jordan Dawson. Jordan, welcome.
Thanks, Rowey. Thanks, Timmy. Cheers for having me.
Is this a fair thing to say that was one that maybe got away?
Yeah, I think so. I think we reviewed it today, and obviously we had plenty of moments within the game, particularly in the second half, that we either didn't capitalise on or we kind of cost ourselves. So don't get me wrong, they're a fantastic team and they play a great brand of footy, but we definitely had our opportunities to capitalise in the second half, that's for sure.
Yeah. Winning big moments, great teams do it. We hear people say it. We got the talent to be able to win those big moments. Isaac Rankin, 2 out of bounds on the full. Dan Curtin missed one, 30 out, hit the post. Rochelle missed that one, went down the other end, they got a goal. We had an inside 50 from a 50-metre penalty. We had a throw that was paid that wasn't to Miller. How do you win those moments?
Oh, mate, I think you just got to keep rocking up. I think there won't be too many times where Ranks kicks 2 out in the full and Dan Curtin's a beautiful kick and he misses a set shot in front. So there's times where you just don't take your opportunities, and that's just how footy works sometimes. And obviously they were able to take some opportunities and kick some really big goals in crucial moments. And it's one that we'll learn from, and hopefully when those individuals and us as a group get in those positions again, we can make the most of those opportunities and capitalise. But it's probably more the free kicks and that throw from from junior, although it was a handball, that's all right, the umpire. Those things happen, but it's more around that tumble punt that McCreary kicked and how we can set up better and help the backs out and not let them take a chest mark just in front of the goal. So, yes, there's some umpiring, but there's also, it's on us to make up for those mistakes, and we cost ourselves at the end of the day.
Great to hear Dixie saying you're sick of it. You're the captain. I'd love to hear if you're sick of it. A couple of work-ons over summer. Forget about the game. A couple of the work-ons that we were told was winning away and winning close ones. I feel we're better capable this year in both those aspects, winning away and close ones. Do you?
Yeah, 100%. And I think as a team, our growth has been, previous years we just want to be in the games and have the opportunity to win, and then now we've had the opportunity to win and we didn't win, and we are frustrated, and it does piss you off a little bit, to be honest, that you're not able to get over the line, particularly away and against the top team at the moment. So it's definitely frustrating, but we do know at the end of the games kind of what our opportunities were and where we let ourselves down. So, yeah, mate, it's, as a group, you want to be frustrated after games like that because you're in them and you know that we can execute a bit better as well.
Hey, Jordan, congrats on your year so far, mate. You're playing really well and leading the team well. You took a mark in the first quarter. Mate, that backflip, and then you landed on the Sharon. I was thinking to myself, geez, it looks like a Cirque du Soleil act, that one. Did you pull up a ride? Because that looked nasty.
Yeah, I think Big Brozzy Maynard kind of ripped me over, but I think the fact that I landed on the footy definitely softened the blow, because I wouldn't want to go the coccyx bone on the G turf. It's a bit hard at the moment. So, yeah, I got a softer landing with the footy, so that's probably a good result.
Well, they say you learn from your losses. What do you reckon you picked up out of this one?
It's a few things, Timmy. I think, like we spoke about before, just making the most of those opportunities that we get. And obviously, you're not going to maximise every opportunity, but it's about, rather than kind of taking 2 out of 10, it's about how can we next time take 6 out of 10 and
increasing the percentage.
And then also limit the opportunities where we kind of gift them the moment, I suppose, of those 50-metre penalties and a couple of times where we're just lapsing concentration. So, yeah, there's a few things, but definitely confident that we can turn it around in those close games again.
Jordan, I want you to educate me, because I went a little bit off the deep end with the sign that was held up in the showdown game. How much of your tempo and mode of footy, this is in-game and in quarters, so it's actually when you're out there. I know you don't have any runners and all of that. How much of it do you call, or do your leaders call, or how much of it do you rely on looking over the bench to see a sign held up? How does it all work?
We don't call much of it. I think as a group, we're starting to get better at understanding the game and how it's kind of feeling as a group. But I think nowadays, because you're having a rotation every quarter, and I come off mid-quarter, I'm able to chat with Nixie and the coaches and get a feel from what they're feeling. Also with Mickey Godden on the bench, he's able to relay some messages around the other players, how they're feeling. So it's a bit of a combination, to be honest, mate. We'll never really call anything just out of nowhere on the field. We'll have instruction, but also we'll go to the coaches and let them know how we're feeling as well.
Okay. So would you agree your team plays what I would call its best brand of footy? I know you can't play it all the time, and your most natural footy that your team can do, and that's when you're chasing a lead. When you're after the win, late in a quarter or late in a game, your football is irresistible. Would you agree or not?
Yeah. Well, I would agree with that, but I'd also disagree, because footy is an easy game when you've got nothing to lose, I think.
But that's how you've got to play. That's what I'm getting at. I was going to go on to say, if you played a game next week without a sign, I don't care who you play, you'd win. There you are.
Yeah, well, that's probably why you're in radio and not in coaching, I reckon.
That is the one.
Well, it is. I am in the cheap seats, and I did start that or qualify that by saying, can you educate me? I'm a fan, Jordan. I'm no more than that. And on what I see, your best footy is when you are chasing that lead. It's the most natural way you guys play, and I don't see it enough. And that's a fair criticism.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I think as well, it's a good brand of footy, and trust me, I enjoy playing that kind of green time. Just play what the game presents you and be a bit more attacking. But it does. Our game is a long game, and if you try to do that for 4 quarters, you just wouldn't be able to sustain it. So definitely at times we can be a bit riskier with the ball and try a bit more of that kind of game flow, which I definitely agree with. But there is a balance to it because nowadays you just can't sustain it, and teams are too good at scoring from turnover if you do turn it over. So it's definitely the balance that we're trying to fight with, to be honest, around when to go quick, when to take the ball through the corridor and really take the game on, and when to go into that more tempo mode and just own the ball a bit and not spend all our tickets at once. So I definitely can appreciate where you're coming from, Rowey, that's for sure.
No, you don't, because nor does this bloke. I agree. I drive better when there's no speed limit or stop signs. That's a good comeback.
Dear.
Thanks, Jordan.
Hey, Geordie, I'm a bit nervous now about asking a question. Hey, mate, I described with Sam Balderstone on Friday, I said, Collingwood are really, and don't get this wrong, but they're a really good outside the contest team, aren't they? I reckon they're one of the best at, if they are able to get hold of that ground ball, their ability on the outside to use it and to get it in and make it pay, they're so good at that.
Yeah, definitely. Timmy, that's a great point, mate. You definitely know your footy, unlike Rowey.
Two in one chat.
Jordan, don't suck up his bunghole, mate. He's a port man.
Yeah, I know. Nah, Rowey, you know I love you. But yeah, to be honest, they are definitely a great ground ball team and contest team, but they get a lot of numbers around the footy, and that's why you probably saw from the weekend when we over-handballed it, especially in those conditions. But in general, if it is dry, if you do over-handball with them, it invites the pressure and they're able to swarm on it. And they've got fantastic hands around the contest to take it from inside to outside. So that's definitely why they're one of the best teams in the comp. Their ability to shape off a ground ball, turnover, inside forward 50 and find that extra number around the ball because they always rock up for it. So we'll get them again later in the year, and we'll definitely change a few things the way we go about it, and it'll be good to
get them at home.
Host them here as well.
We score well, number 1 scoring team, 6 wins, 4 losses. It's round 10. We're equal 5th on the ladder. In your eyes, is the team ahead of the curve or behind it, or right where you thought you'd be about now, Jordan?
Oh, that's a good question. I think we're definitely playing the way that I've always felt we could during the pre-season, but as you know, it is hard to really get a gauge over the pre-season how you're going to compare and stack up against the rest of the comp. So I'm not going to say where I thought we would be or wouldn't be, but I'm really confident in the way we're going about it and the way a lot of guys are playing individually, but also as a group, we're starting to really click, and I'm really excited around what's coming. I don't want to kind of look back on the start of the season, but I definitely feel like our best footy is good enough, and we saw that on the weekend, so that's what I'm really excited about.
Yeah, when you've got your best 25-ish and the continuity's there and you're playing your best, oh, God, it's irresistible. Love it. Hey, West Coast Sunday, Sydney in Sydney, Lions home, Hawks in Tassie, then the round 15 bye. Do you have, what phase are you in? Do you have your goal set for this month to knuckle down to or is it still just 1 week at a time?
No, it's genuinely 1 week at a time. I think the competition, like I said before, is so even and tight, and we just saw on the weekend, obviously West Coast got their first win, and I've watched a little bit of them this year, and they've played some outstanding footy. So we definitely know we need to be at our best on Sunday to get the job done. So we're definitely not looking past that. We'll focus on this week, and then obviously Sydney the week after. So excited to get back home and play in front of the home crowd against what will be an informed West Coast coming into it.
Yeah, you've had a terrific start to the year. You're starting to get hunted from opposition, and more than hunted, they're attacking you. And I think a lot of coaches are saying, well, if we can control Jay Dawson, we're going to go a long way to winning the game. So when you do get that attention, what would you rather do? Go to the half-back line and the bloke goes with you, or they have to make a decision on it, or go and stand out of the cage and take a mark and kick a goal? What's best for you for that situation?
I mean, it depends on how the game's going, like who we're playing as well, obviously. But for me, my game doesn't really change too much, to be honest. I just keep playing the midfield role, go forward as well throughout quarters, ask them a question as well if they're coming to me or whatever. But I've said to Nixie multiple times, like whatever the team kind of needs me to do in that moment, I'm happy to do it. It doesn't touches and all that sort of stuff, mate. It doesn't really bother me, to be honest.
Well done.
As long as we're getting the win, like we did in the showdown, I'm more than happy to just bring my defensive acts, use the ball when I get the opportunity, and just play my role. That's how I see it.
Certainly doing that, mate. Keep leading from the front. An exciting month ahead before the bye, and here's to some more green time.
Sounds good, mate. If we bring it out extra this week, then you know it's because of your wise words, mate.
Oh, shut up. Well done, Jordan. You're a great man. Well done.
Dawson.
Well done.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, he's a ripper. That's why he's a leader.
Oh, unbelievable. Even Eddie Maguire said he wanted to poach him.
Well, we've got him for life now.
Well, you got to be careful when Eddie wants something.
No, Eddie's not going to get anywhere near him. Very well led. I go back to that first quarter and a bit of that showdown where there was tempo needed to be had, green time needed to be had, playing on your terms, and who led that charge? Jay Dawson.
The outstanding player and a leader. Whether your box the size of Adelaide Oval or the goal square, customise your build with Sterling Homes. We'll get back to your call straight after we check your traffic.
At Angle Park, debris on the road on the North-South Motorway, Grand Junction Road, speeds at 40 there. Mile end to crash, Henley Beach Road near Bagot Avenue, and Jeps Cross, a ute on fire, Main North Road near Matthews Road. Got some works at Queenstown, which is slow, Port Road near Weber Street, and look out for a Camry Hillier Road at Ranella. The biggest Reddit sale is on now at Flight Centre. Fly free to Europe with Trafalgar Tours. Yes, fly for free. Hurry, ends May 31. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Catch 5AA each Thursday night from 6 as Adelaide United star midfielder Stephen Moore presents The World Game. It's the very latest in the world of football, thanks to Football SA, bringing South Australian communities together.
You're smart, you're busy, and your time matters. So when that first sign of illness appears, you need answers, not appointments. That's when you reach for Cell Life, the premium 4-in-1 rapid antigen test that puts you in control. Fast, reliable results for COVID-19, flu A, flu B, and RSV in just minutes. Make the smart choice for your health and family. Insist on the brand that healthcare professionals prefer. Cell Life at leading chemists and Amazon. Cell Life, CELLIFE.
Over 50% sold. Wow! Tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery are over 50% sold. Win the life-changing $3 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize, fully furnished and mortgage-free. And with over 11,000 more prizes, you have a 1 in 15 chance to win. Homelottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes. Life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au. Licence M14727.
Now, the Albion Hotel is your place. It's your place to raise a glass, whether it's to a big sporting win or a milestone birthday or just surviving the week.
Are we going there tomorrow?
We are.
We are. Can't wait.
I think it's tomorrow 11.
It's your place to bring the whole family, kids, grandkids, that uncle that just sits in the corner, smells a little bit, but you know what? They look after him as well. He does. Your place to just tuck into an amazing meal, share a laugh, make memories without doing the damn dishes.
That's the best bit of it. Now, pop into the Albion's Thirsty Camel Bottle Shop. The drive-through there, ask for Adam and the team, and the incredible selection you've got there and even better prices.
No, but their range is outstanding.
It is.
For that area, I don't think there's a better bottle shop. Adam does a great job. Now, if you haven't already, download the Albion Loyalty app. It's your access to exclusive member-only perks, cheeky little offers, and first dibs on the real good stuff. I like the good stuff. Hey? The Albion Hotel, your local, your people, your place, your pub.
G'day, it's Ben from BJ Energy. Lately I've had a lot of people asking about the federal battery rebate, what it is, how it works and whether they're eligible. At BJ Energy, we've done the homework. Our job is to help you make the most of the rebate while it's still around. So if you're thinking about solar or a home battery, or just have any questions about the federal battery rebate, it's easy to get in touch with us. No sales pitch, just straight answers. Visit bjenergy.com.au. That's bjenergy.com.au.
Ready for your next adventure? Austrac campers are built tough for Australia's wild landscapes. From the coast to the outback, you'll experience unmatched quality with every adventure.
Austrac campers.
The Adelaide Showground Farmers Market has a producer's guarantee. Everything is produced by the people selling it, so it's all local. It means you know who distilled your gin, who baked your bread, whose chooks laid your eggs, and who picked your veggies. It means less food miles, reducing your carbon footprint, and your food is tastier, fresher, and often lasts longer. Join as a member at the Adelaide Showground Farmers Market to save 10% on everything all year long. Visit us every Sunday morning from 8:30 to 12:30.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
Timmy, that's a great point, mate. You definitely know your footy, unlike Rowey. That's probably why you're in radio and not in coaching, I reckon.
Oh, bang, from Jordan Dawson just before the break.
Is that going to be like a loop now?
Can I use the stud? I'm not a rock.
Yeah, oh, man, it's got feel.
Hey, had a good text here. Why don't they put my head on the thing that they hold up for green time?
Oh, not bad. And maybe colour it in green too.
Look like the Hulk.
I got a good, unique home-style food text. G'day, fellas. Hey, Tim, most of the players think they're giving 100%, but they're not. The players, and there are only a handful who give 100%, think they can give more. They say it's all down to the core. I could straighten it out. Cheers, fellas. No name to it, unfortunately. So if you can put your name to it, we'd love you to straighten it out. It's an interesting point. Why I read it out was Brian Fairclough, who was John Carl's right-hand man during our time at Port Adelaide. He said to me at training, he said, players think they're given 100%. He said, do this. Stop training, bring them in, give them an absolute rev and have a look at the intensity level when they go back out. He said that is what happens also in a game. He said you think you're given all you got, but you're not. And it was a really good point. He said, so that point of the coach identifying it, being able to pull it in and snap it back out into gear and off they go and lift again. You got more in you. There's no doubt about it. So good call.
Yeah, it is. Spot on. Let's go to Glengowie. Mark.
How you going, Timmy and Rowey? You sound a bit down, so I thought I'd ring with a story about Sir Doug Nicholls being it's the Doug Nicholls round.
Excellent.
Back in 1980, we were involved in swimming, and our kids used to come from the country and do long swims. And my son won the last long swim at the Padawalunga.
Right.
And we went round to it's the Watermark now, but I forget what it was called then.
Yep. St Leonard's
and the presentations were on. And Sir Doug Nicholls presented Chris with a trophy, and then he asked where his parents and that were, and he came over, introduced himself and shook hands with every one of us at the table and said he was really interested in supporting country kids. And so he said, will you be back next year? And we said, yeah. So we came back next year, but it was in the ocean, the long swim. And he sought us out. None of our club won the long swim, but he came and sought us out and said, remember me from last year? Well, of course you do. Yeah. And, shook hands with us all again and asked how things were going in the country. So that's the sort of
what a gentleman
Doug Nicholls was.
Yeah, what a gentleman, Margaret. Lovely story. Thank you for sharing that with us. Isn't that awesome?
Oh, he was a leader for the times.
People like that too. Got great memories, and they double back on to where they were last year.
You're good like that. I remember faces, but I'm hopeless at names.
Yeah, I don't. It's not. I wouldn't say it's a gift, but I do work hard on it.
How do you work hard on it? I guess.
Yeah, there's that. That's point number one. But if you come and meet somebody, I just say, oh, hello, what's your name? And you'll say, oh, Stephen. And then I'll say, oh, Stephen, what do you do for a living? And then you tell me, and I'll say, oh, that's good, Stephen. So what do you do at night time, Stephen? And so I try and repeat your name at least 3 times in a circle.
I've seen you do that.
Yeah, and I just keep repeating the name, and then I'll sink in.
No, but where you're good is you might do it that night, but you might meet that person 3 months, like Sir Doug, and you'll remember him. So I'm hopeless.
Yeah, I try to place it into that moment in time and say, what was I talking about? Oh, it's Stephen. That's right. Stephen was at this place. Yeah. So
there's a cause for that. Can somebody put it on to me?
Yeah.
Good tip for a lot of those out there. Probably have the same struggles.
I haven't done it,
but just before we get to the 6 o'clock news, we have tickets here on 5AA to the Ultimate Friday knockoffs at the Beer and Barbecue Fest's 10th and final birthday for now, at least.
Yes, that's true.
So if you want tickets for you and a mate, we've got a VIP area that we've got set up at the Beer and Barbecue Festival. We'll chuck in some beers and some delicious barbecue for you as well.
I'll be there to remember your name.
And that's right. And there'll be a big space as well with the big screen so you can watch the Crows and Brisbane Lions that night because it's a big Friday evening. So if you'd like to head along, it's our last drinks for now at the Beer Barbecue Fest. 8223 0055 is the number you can win right now. It's the King's birthday weekend.
That's right.
And tickets are at beerbarbecuefest.com.au. 6 o'clock news coming up. And we'll talk about the amazing FA Cup final, Crystal Palace making history.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
It's a fact. There are thousands of medium-sized homes all over Adelaide that have old-style, inefficient heating and cooling. So, upgrade now with Mannix. Get a super-efficient, top-quality ducted reverse cycle air conditioning system now and be comfortable all year round from an incredible $7,990 fully installed with our 10-year installation guarantee. Conditions apply. But don't delay. Prices are rising. Buy now and save. From the SA name you know and trust.
The latest local, national and international news for South Australia. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Down to 6 tonight, sunny tomorrow 18. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
Beat the winter rush today and make sure your home is comfortable all year round with Mannix.
Charges have been laid after stolen items were uncovered at Mitchell Park. It includes credit cards, cannabis, meth and equipment. Selected items were allegedly taken from the Marion Caravan Park. A 36-year-old man has been bailed to front court next month. Major works have begun on the southern end of the Torrens to Darlington project, which will eventually create a non-stop South Road. The $15 billion project won't be completed till 2031, but will allow motorists to bypass 21 sets of traffic lights, saving up to 40 minutes of travel time in peak hour traffic. Premier Peter Malinauskas says it's one of the most complex infrastructure projects in the state's history.
2 90-metre long tunnel boring machines will be lowered 25 metres below the surface to start tunnelling out throughout the second half of 2026 right through to the project's completion. This is one of the biggest engineering undertakings that's not just occurred in the history of our state but indeed the nation.
In Victoria, the mushroom murder trial has heard a poisons expert posted online about death cap mushrooms growing in Gippsland in the months before the fatal lunch. More from Penelope Lersch.
The jury has heard a number of evidence from phone data expert Dr Matthew Sorrell, where he noted that Erin Patterson's phone was recorded connecting to the areas of Outram and Lock in Gippsland, close to the time that there were reported sightings of death cap mushrooms online from those areas. Earlier, the court also heard from a poisons expert who said she had seen death cap mushrooms at the Lock Oval and posted about those on the Citizen Science website iNaturalist. After going for a walk with her grandson, she noted that she removed as many of the mushrooms as she could find with a plastic bag to stop them being taken by foragers. Erin Patterson has denied ever deliberately poisoning anyone. The trial continues tomorrow.
Telstra is heading back at claims it inflated its mobile network coverage. Vodafone says Telstra's advertised coverage of 3 million square kilometres doesn't account for people without access to external antenna. Vodafone also says their competitor's website was only recently updated to include a clarification. But Telstra's Shanna Sabarantni says the company has nothing to hide.
We would welcome
an industry standard so that we can compare apples with apples. So we're very confident we will get through an ACCC inquiry, and we are more than happy to be working with them.
The federal government says it remains concerned for the welfare of Australian man Oscar Jenkins. The 33-year-old was captured by Russian forces last year while fighting on the front line for Ukraine. Mr Jenkins has now been sentenced to 13 years in a Russian jail. The government says he faced a sham trial and Mr Jenkins is essentially a prisoner of war. Now turning to 5AA's sport.
Collect the new 2025 AFL footy cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
To footy, and Adelaide is aiming to get back on the winners list this weekend. It's a home game against West Coast. Crows captain Jordan Dawson has told Rowey and Timmy G, going down to Collingwood really hurt, but they know where they need to improve.
Previous years we just want to be in the games and have the opportunity to win, and then now we've had the opportunity to win and we didn't win, and we are frustrated and you're not able to get over the line, particularly away and against the top team at the moment. We do know at the end of the games kind of what our opportunities were and where we let ourselves down.
The injuries are mounting at Alberton. Port's Jason Horne-Francis is expected to spend a month on the sidelines with a hamstring injury. Lockie Jones could be out for twice that, while Josh Sin is unlikely to play this weekend as he recovers from bruising to his hip. The Power head west in round 11 after Saturday's big loss. Assistant coach Tyson Goldsack says they regroup today to talk tactics.
Do we believe in the offence, the contest aspects, the defensive method? Then we had to come to an agreement that we are all on the same page. We do believe in it. So what we did roll out through pre-season and the early part of this year, we still believe that will work. You know, just finding a way to make sure that we can educate well enough from week to week, and then the players can ultimately execute on game day.
And in tennis, Carlos Alcaraz has defeated Jannik Sinner 7-6, 6-1 to take out the Italian Open. It's Sinner's first loss after 26 wins either side of his 3-month doping ban. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Sharman Shelving have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Angle Park, debris on the road on the north-south motorway, Green Junction Road splits at 40 both ways. Mile end to crash, Henley Beach Road near Bagot Avenue, and Jeps Cross Ute on fire, Main North Road near Matthews Road. Busy South Road, Edwardstown, slow to Kettleville Terrace in the Parklands with a Camera Hillier Road at Ranella. Guzmani Gomez's Chicken Mini Meal, a big eat at a mini price. Mini chicken burrito with free-range chicken, fries and drink, just $12. Grab yours today at GYG. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 6 tonight, sunny tomorrow 18, Wednesday partly cloudy 19 and Thursday the same. Right now it's 13 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Thanks, I'm Alice Monfries. Tonight's headlines: a truck driver charged over the Mid-Murray crash that killed a much-loved grandfather. An autistic child told he's no longer welcome at a northern suburb soccer club. And Rory Sloane backs Taylor Walker to take on the Eagles. Don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 Now as soon as you're home.
At Edwardstown Mazda's biggest ever end of financial year sale, drive away with up to $10,000 in savings and go into the draw to win the ultimate New Zealand getaway. Only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Why are we here? What is the nature of reality? Do I really need all that data to listen to history podcasts?
Question everything.
Especially your telco plan. Get the data you need at low prices with Aldi Mobile.
Well, for over 50 years, Adriatic Slumber has quietly gone about making some of the best handmade mattresses in South Australia without the fuss. Their honest craftsmanship. Every mattress is made to order right here in SA by a family-owned team. I am ringing them before I move into 88 O'Connell.
Good idea. I've actually been out there and watched them make it.
Really?
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And Adriatic?
Yeah. They are unreal. Now, look, to celebrate as a big thank you to all South Australians, Adriatic Slumber have released a limited anniversary edition mattress. Yeah, complete with reversible pillow top. How good's that? I love those. Matching ensemble and headboard. Now, it's been such a hit, they decided to keep it around a little longer for you. So, yes, it still comes with a bonus mattress protector and pillows.
If you had an Adriatic, you wouldn't have a bung back.
Oh, that's probably, yeah.
That is probably true.
Yep.
Find Adriatic Slumber at trusted independent stockets. It's in the CBD, Regional SA and NT and Broken Hill. No gimmicks, just genuine quality from people who've been doing it properly and for the best since 1974.
Oh,
Wow.
51 years. Handmade in South Australia for South Australians. Visit adriaticslumber.com.au.
There are many joys that come with growing older, and Arbor Vitae helps you optimise these joys. Arbor Vitae is an anti-inflammatory supplement made from natural ingredients like pycnogenol, enzyme papain from the papaya fruit, aloe vera and honey. It helps to reduce mild arthritis, relieve other joint pain, and helps to maintain healthy blood glucose, cholesterol levels and cognitive functions. For Tracy from New South Wales, Arbor Vitae has saved her career. She's a cake maker by trade and suffered with sore hands for years. After trying Arbor Vitae, all her pain disappeared and she thanks Arbor Vitae for saving her career. Arbor Vitae health supplements are now available at Chemist Warehouse, Australia's cheapest chemist. arborvitae.com.au. Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Setting the agenda for South Australia. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
9 after 6, we'll cover all things in the Adelaide Footy League very shortly, and then the 5AA Sample Show with Matt Panos from 6:30 tonight. Remember, you can watch the Mornteam Cheltenham Hyundai live stream on Facebook and YouTube if you want to catch the rest of the program there online. And congratulations to Jamie at Highbury. You've won those tickets to the 5AA Ultimate Friday Knockoffs at the Beer and Barbecue Fest. It's last drinks for now. You can celebrate the Beer and Barbecue Fest 10th and final year as you know it. King's birthday weekend by heading to beerbarbecuefest.com.au, and we'll have more chances for you to win throughout the week. But right now it's time to celebrate an amazing occasion on the weekend.
This is more what they were doing, and here's Munoz, who was very involved then. Oh, it's exactly the same. As arrives on the scene, the same as the semi-final, the same as at City. And with their first blow struck in anger, Crystal Palace take the lead. And the whistle isn't blown, but it is now. There's a new name on the FA Cup. It's Crystal Palace.
Well, an absolute fairy tale. Sunday morning our time, Crystal Palace defeating Man City 1-0 in the FA Cup. It was sensational stuff. Former Socceroo and Optus Sport expert joins us, Tommy Orr. Tommy, what a win.
Oh, thanks for having me on. And, yeah, what a game that was. I think surprised a lot of people. I think going into the game, a lot of people thought that City would kind of have it in the bag, but wasn't their day. And Crystal Palace scored a great goal, and, yeah, they were good.
What does it do for a club like Palace, who we know has never won a major trophy ever? And I would just imagine commercially and membership and everything would just explode.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's only heightened too, because if you consider the fact that their rivals Brighton, who are just down the road, they, them winning the FA Cup has kind of stitched up Brighton as well. It's kind of cost them potentially a place in the Europa League in that season. So that's kind of another silver lining. It's just made it all a lot sweeter for the fans of Palace. And I think that, you touched on it, but it was their first FA Cup win in 3 attempts. They lost the first 2 against Manchester United. So I think it's a little bit of a monkey off their back to get their first ever trophy.
Man City, I mean, they weren't without chances, were they? They were peppering away, but, gee, Dean Henderson, he stood up.
Oh, it was unbelievable performance from him. And I think he was a little bit fortunate probably in the first half to stay on the field, actually, because
not to be sent off.
There was a very controversial handball incident, which, I think, everybody can see that it was a big error, but at the same time, in the second half, I think he must have made 4 or 5 massive saves. And, the Palace manager himself said after the game, Glasner, that, you play that game 10 times and you probably only win it once. So they just seemed every kind of bit of luck seemed to go their way. And in the end, it was a surprising result. And you could see after the game, Pep Guardiola, the Manchester City manager, was very frustrated.
What about the penalty save? I mean, you as a keeper, you commit and he goes the right way, and then they have another shot straight after he saved it. It was like it was going to be his day.
It was, exactly, and it was a phenomenal save. And from if you flip the coin and look at it from the attacker's perspective, you're taught to take penalties and hit them low and hard into the corner. So he didn't actually do a lot wrong. He hit it quite firmly in the corner, but it was just a phenomenal save. Really strong right hand from the goalkeeper, and I think that he'll remember that day for the rest of his life, because I think it was probably one of the best goalkeeping performances in a final that I can remember.
You mentioned the manager, Oliver Glasner. He's an Austrian. I loved his line afterwards that it's not about us lifting the trophy. He said it's about us giving the fans, give them a moment for life. And that is so true.
Absolutely. And you could see in the game, you could see in that penalty, for example, the Palace fans behind the goal, what it meant to them just to be there on the occasion. It's finals football is a unique thing, and the FA Cup's obviously one of the oldest football competitions in the world. So it would have been a great day out for them, regardless of the result. But coming across the line as winners, I'm sure that'll go down in folklore for Crystal Palace.
Not wrong. The goal itself, I mean, it was a lovely setup. Nice fast break, got it across there. Now, Ebere Eze, is that how you say it? I mean, it was a lovely finish. Yeah. How'd I go, Tommy?
Yeah.
How's that pronunciation?
Yeah, that was good. And I think Eze, when you hear the context of how he got to this point, as a youngster coming through, he was rejected by a lot of the bigger clubs in England, the likes of Arsenal and Fulham, and for him to score the winning goal in a final, I think probably silenced a lot of his critics and, answered a lot of his doubters. And I think it was a fantastic moment for him. Great goal, as you mentioned. But, Crystal Palace, to be fair to them, in the second half of this season, also in the Premier League, has really turned the corner, and they've been fantastic. And, some of their attacking talent that they have is really exciting. And I think Glasner's building something really exciting at that club.
Well, they're a proud old club, Crystal Palace. How come it's taken this long to win some silverware? What's wrong with them, Tommy?
Yeah. Oh, well, to be fair, it's so competitive. I think that, there's so many big clubs in England. I think there's only 20 teams in the Premier League, but there's probably 30 or 40 clubs in England that are Premier League size in terms of commercially and the fans and all these types of things. So it's not an easy feat to win something in England. And if you look at the run they had as well, they had to beat the likes of Aston Villa in the semi-finals, who Aston Villa obviously was in the Champions League this year as well, so they've been in fantastic form lately. So they didn't do it the easy way as well, and I think that makes it all a lot sweeter as well.
I was fortunate enough, Tommy, 3 years ago to actually go and physically see a Crystal Palace game, and I was taken away with their singing, and they loved singing glad all over, yes I'm glad all over. I would imagine the whole of South London was singing that.
Wow.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. And it's known, Crystal Palace, at Selhurst Park, to be one of the best, the most hostile atmospheres and the most difficult places to go, because it's a really traditional old English stadium, and all the fans, it feels like they're really on top of you. And we've had a long history of Australian players at Crystal Palace as well, so I've no doubt that would have been a lot of Aussies celebrating that win as well.
Yeah. Hey, Tommy, you're a star. Before we move on to Ange, that's one thing that will top if he can win with Tottenham over Crystal Palace. Timmy's got a number of talents. A 7-time premiership captain is one, Tommy, in AFL here. But he knows musicians, music, years and genres. So, Timmy, I'm going to ask Tommy, who sung that and what year?
Well, I knew it was the Dave Clark 5. I knew that.
Yeah.
And I reckon it's early 60s. I'm going to guess 64, Tommy.
That was the first time I'd ever heard that song, to be honest with you.
That's how young you are, Tommy. That is a famous song, mate.
Well, to be fair, Tommy's only 33. So,
okay,
yeah, that's
hey, Tommy, back to Ange. Can he win it with Tottenham?
Absolutely. I mean, what a final this is. Because
honestly,
obviously, aside from being a final, in terms of Manchester United and Spurs, both have had absolutely disastrous seasons. And I think this is kind of, if they lose this final, whoever loses it, I think the narrative around that club will be very different. And, if they go on to win the Europa League, whether it's Spurs or Manchester United, the narrative will be very different going into next season and about, great building the foundations for success and, another trophy. So, it's a huge task, but fingers crossed Ange can get the job done.
Well, to all the Crystal Palace fans all around the world, congratulations. A fantastic win, your first piece of major trophy wear, and congratulations. And Tommy, thank you very much for your time, mate. Really appreciate it.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Tommy Orr there, former Socceroo, Optus Sport expert, our guest, and a terrific win. And you know what? Let's take him out on the real song. Thanks, Sam.
You say that you love me.
Well, Crystal Palace fans, you can absolutely take it all in. It's definitely your week. It is 17 minutes after 6. We'll get to a quick break and we'll talk all things Adelaide Footy League and we'll take your calls as well. 8223 0000.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowey and Timmy G.
If you want to know what's going on at the Port Adelaide Football Club, listen in to the 5AA Sports Show. Each week, Rowey and Timmy G chat with the players and coaches in the know. Thanks to Sharman Shelving. Sharman have moved their showroom next door into the Big White Building, still at 412 North East Road.
At Edwardstown Mazda's biggest ever end of financial year sale, drive away with up to $10,000 in savings and go into the draw to win the ultimate New Zealand getaway. Only at Edwardstown Mazda, the #1 destination for Mazda in SA. T's and C's apply.
Great food, great people. That's the team at Meals on Wheels SA. They believe there should be a magic moment in everyone's day, and food fills the belly while it nurtures the soul. The Big Brunch Drive gives you and your family a chance to help Meals on Wheels SA provide meals and social connection to older Australians. And it's also heaps of fun. Register at thebigbrunchdrive.com and download your toolkit today. The Big Brunch for Meals on Wheels SA. Every bite counts.
Walco is making headlines again for SA's biggest cover-up. If you own a pool, it will affect you in the best possible way. For those whose pool is the main feature of their yard, Walco offer a special mesh cover to keep debris and leaves out, while making your pool area look stunning all through winter. If looks matter, join the great cover-up and ask Walco about their stylish new mesh pool covers. Visit walco.com.au.
Big news! The 2024 plate clearance sale is on at Austrac Campers. Save up to $11,000 on hybrid campers, plus get a bonus 3.3 kVA generator and 200-watt solar panel with every purchase. Austrac Campers. Limited stock, don't miss out.
Over 50% sold. Wow! Tickets for the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery are over 50% sold. Win the life-changing $3 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize, fully furnished and mortgage-free. And with over 11,000 more prizes, you have a 1 in 15 chance to win. Homelottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes. Life-changing impact. Homelottery.com.au.
Licence M14727.
Feed-in tariffs are dropping, but your savings don't have to. Not if you call my friends at NRG Solar. With an NRG installed battery, you store your solar power during the day and use it when you need it most. No more giving it away for cents. More energy independence means lower bills, smarter savings, no matter what the price of energy is. Take control of your energy. Visit NRG Solar, 1275 South Road, St Mary's. Call 1300 858 160 and talk to NRG Solar today.
I'm high! The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, and right now you can tuck into a schnitty and a pint for just $22 in the front bar. Not bad, hey? That's a schnitty and a pint for just $22, only in the front bar. Make sure you check out their $20 jugs of the month too, plus live acoustic music every Saturday and Sunday from 5 till 8 p.m. The Excelsior Hotel feels like home, but better. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
Toolkit Depot has all the gear for every trade under one roof, backed by their price beat promise.
Rowey and Timmy G, the 5AA Sports Show.
21 minutes after 6, Matty Panos will join us in the 5AA studios from 6:30 tonight as we kick off another round of the 5AA Sample Show. But right now, let's get even more local. AdelaideFooty.com.au is where you'll find everything you need to know about the Adelaide Footy League, where they're strengthening communities through football.
That they are. Just a quick text. Sorry, Stewie, we'll get to it, mate. He said Saturday night when they put the attendance record up of 35,000, the announcer built it up with a bit of excitement. There was nothing from the crowd, not even a peep, because everyone was pretty well upset with Port Adelaide and wonder why they come and watch this crap. Josh Carr can take over after the bye. Choco better be there next year as well. So, Stewie, thank you very much for that text and involvement in the show.
You'd have Choco a million miles an hour, wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, they're pretty close.
Here's another text. Carl Vick played for Crystal Palace.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I forgot about that. He did do that. I'm going to go through Div 5. You know why? Div 5 is the 5AA Div 5. How's that?
We sponsor it.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
name
do
rights.
indeed. There you go. So Eastern Park took on Marion. Marion had a big win there. Oh, gee, that's 110 points. That's a massive one. Greenacres took on Trinity. They had a win, 79-52. The Cats, Woody South, actually on their Sunday, with Michael Graham and Phil Gallagher.
There you go.
There you go. Portland defeated them by 20 points. And Salisbury took on Paraka, and Salisbury had a close win, 2 goals. And Pulteney defeated Gazer 79-63. So that is Div 5.
My old club Gazer.
Oh, was it? Did you
Played
play
one game.
Did you really?
When I
was when Jars
47,
coaching
when
or not?
Jars was coaching.
Really? What was he doing?
Did a
that?
hammy in the first quarter, played Port Districts.
That was always going to happen. Div 6, O'Sullivan's Beach, 196, defeated West Croydon 35. That's a big win. St Paul's Old Scholars defeated Blackfriars Old Scholars just by 8 points. Rosewater took on Fitzroy. Fitzroy had the win there, 71 to 48. Para Hills, which we went out to the community club there, just by the football club, 119 defeated Houghton Districts 52, and Adelaide Lutheran played Ingle Farm, and Eagle Farm had a big win there. That's Div 5 and Div 6. There you go, and that was Villies Div 6.
Can I backpedal? You're doing a show with Phil Gallagher, Norwood's Phil Gallagher,
Yep.
and who?
Michael Graham.
And
Flash.
Michael Graham.
Yep.
At Woody South.
At Woody South,
Now,
Sunday.
I reckon at about 3:30 you were complaining to Sam and I, so it's not a cashy. Because you reckon since we've been going
Love.
with that, is it for love? You're a good man.
Love.
That you've not been getting any cashies.
Yeah, no, it's a
because
fundraiser for the club.
Okay, point. That's right.
0.
It had a bit of sook about it, I would have thought.
Yeah,
There was a little bit of sook in the voice.
We've tarnished
We've-
your...
Oh, you've destroyed me, you two.
We have
You
destroyed
two
you.
have absolutely,
God.
you know, if I was a business, I'd be now
Oh, no
in
cash flow.
liquidation because of you.
Oh, no. Div 1, Sacred Heart smashed Glenunga. Prince Alfred College, they've lost the last 3 in a row now, Ned McHenry. And St. Peter's, their arch rival, beat them. And not only beat them, smoked them. Hashtag start the car, Nettie. We've got him on tomorrow.
Yes, he
Lost
is.
the last
Fish
3.
and show.
He'd be feeling really low. And with that algae bloom around.
As well.
Okay. 80-77, Ross Trevor beat Salisbury North. Golden Grove smashed Broadview. Payneham, Norwood, Union lost to Port Districts. They're starting to hum a bit, Port Districts, getting it together. Here's the ladder. Althelston top. Goody Saints second top. Go down the bottom. Lockley's a bottom. That's actually the Div 2 ladder.
Yeah, that's the wrong ladder.
Let's just get rid of that ladder. Div 1 ladder. Well, I'm reading out these teams. None of those teams were in Div 1.
no, they
Okay.
weren't. No.
Now, Sacred Heart Old Collegians is top.
Shock. Yep.
Port District starting to rock and roll, Timmy. They're second. St. Peter's, Ross Trevor take up the top 4. Down the bottom is Broadview, Payneham, Norwood, Union. Prince Alfred, 7th with 2 wins, lost their last 3.
Ooh,
In all
okay.
sorts.
I'll have a chat tomorrow.
AdelaideFooty.com.au if you want any more information. Just enough time for your calls before we go. Richie's at Hyde Park.
Richie.
How you going, man?
All right, buddy.
You remember me, surely?
Yes.
I said to you once upon a time I was a alcoholic Buddhist. And the reason being, when you fall over, no insects die in the process.
Mate,
Wow.
you know what, Richie? I think I like you.
What's
An
going on?
alcoholic Buddha.
He's a character.
No, I've met you several times, mate. I got photos with you, blah, blah, blah.
Who are you talking about, me or Timmy?
No, Timmy's a legend.
Yeah, I know, Richie.
Okay.
Rowey, you were stalking me down on the beach, walking along the beach. Seriously, mate, with your daughter. I know. Doesn't matter. All I'm saying is, mate, I worked with Wayne Marnie.
The
I
great-
worked with Wayne
yes,
Marnie
the great Wayne
5
Marnie.
years. He talked me into playing for C grade at Walkerville when he took them A's to the flag, and I was 45 years old.
Wow. I remember that. That was it 2000, Richie? The year 2000?
I loved footy.
Ah, that was yeah. The Cats. He got him up. That was a great win
got
for the
'em up.
Cats. Oh, I love it. Hey, have a good night, buddy. Good to hear from you.
Hey, Timmy, come on, man. You're the man.
An alcoholic Buddha that when he falls over, insects are harmed.
I've met him several times. He's one of the great characters, let me tell you. He is a ripper.
Oh, my goodness. Time to get our way to the Sample Show, which is coming up next. We're back with the sports show from 4 tomorrow. Have a great one.
Rowey and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
From Simon, the announcement that aerial shark patrols are being extended sounds good, but it does raise some questions.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings.
Surely with today's technology, we can do better.